Thank you. A very, very welcome to the final pitches of our 7th Bankathon here in beautiful Prague.
Thank you for coming and enjoy final ceremonies of this Bankathon annual.
Before we're diving in, maybe let's say a few words about the setup here.
Actually, I'm Martin Sladeček, coming from Komerční banka. I'm in charge of open banking.
My name is Lars. I represent FinLeap Connect, and in the last 4 years, we have organized 7 Bankathons. Who has been to a Bankathon before? There are a few hands, but a lot of them have never heard of the Bankathon. Maybe to give you a few words about Bankathon. Bankathon was actually invented in the year of 2015 by a company called Figo. Maybe some of you have heard the name Figo before. Figo is actually now rebranded as FinLeap Connect. That's what you have seen on the slide before. In 2015, Figo, as a banking API provider, was looking for new use cases around the access to account solutions. We wanted to be part of a hackathon, but we couldn't really find the right hackathon for a fintech provider. And that's where we realized we have to do it ourselves. And now it's our 7th Bankathon, so we have hosted 6 events in Germany and in Vienna, Austria, and now we are more than excited to come to Prague to host our 7th Bankathon over here.
I was just a regular attendee several annuals. I was just wondering why so nice event we don't have in Prague. So we discussed with guys from Figo, and we decided to make it here and together.
We have decided for the setup here. FinLeap Connect and KB are hosting together the 7th Bankathon in Prague. But of course, this is not possible just with 2 parties. As you probably know, fintech, financial services, is so much about working together, of cooperation. That's why we brainstormed, I know, half a year ago, 3/4 of a year ago, how can we make it happen that we bring everybody here together to Prague for such an event?
So, let's remind, Česká spořitelna, Cleverlands, Deloitte, IBM, KB, Raiffeisen Bank International, Trask, and Visa united together as diamond partners. Please give them your applause.
But we not only have diamond partners, we also have gold partners, namely DXC Technology and Global Payments. Please let's also give them a round of applause.
Amongst that, we have as well as supporters. These are Creative Dog, Czech Banking Association, Czech FinTech Association, European Banking Federation, because we are international, and as well as Tatra Banka and Vultra. Please give them as well as the applause.
And of course, we don't want to focus on some names specifically, but of course, we are very proud of having the Czech Banking Association and the EBF on board here as well, which shows that we're here working together.
So, open banking. What's the spirit behind? It's behind something about cooperation or partnership. Maybe. We are focusing the clients. And just think about today. We have different brands, but they were left outside. Actually, we are all of us like sisters and brothers in innovations, united by just one logo, same hoodies, maybe different color, but as well as we are trying to push things together forward, keeping in mind our clients, making their life easier, and actually look forward what you will see later.
And also when we were thinking about when should we host the 7th Bankathon in Prague, we were looking at different dates, and then we realized, okay, mid-September is somehow a quite important date for lots of banks all over Europe. Why we're not choosing a week afterwards when the PSD2 APIs are set to become live by the RTS and kind of unite here to see under our motto, let the open banking world begin, especially here in the Czech Republic where we have a little bit of a head start to other countries to see what's possible in the future of open banking.
So we will react, and you will see how the open banking and PSD are really live and relevant. So, the first part of today's will be panel discussion. So, let's invite on stage Andrew, famous moderator, speaker, and as well as singer,
Blackbirds
musician. Please give him your applause.
Hello, it's great to see you. Hello,
Hi.
gentlemen. Great to be here on the stage with you and with you. Thank you.
Now it is yours, and enjoy panel discussion at first with banking leaders, and at second with digital leaders and fintechs.
So let me get ready. Thank you. Thank you for entering speech. Make some noise for the gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. It's always nice. And thank you. Thank you, guys. And let's open the panel, the first panel. As you know, we would have two panels today. Both should have something around 30 minutes, so 1 hour in total. The very first panel would be about banking, about future of banking, digitalization, about banking achievements in the future. So for that, I'm really happy that I can invite three important person here on the stage. The first would be CEO of KB Komerční banka, Jan Juchelka. Hello, Mr. Juchelko. Hello, please take your seat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The second one would be CEO of Česká spořitelna, Mr. Tomáš Salomon. And because we haven't met yet, hello, welcome. Vítejte.
Thank you.
And as third, ladies and gentlemen, would be CIO of Raiffeisen Bank, Mr. Vladimír Matouš. Hello, welcome. Please take your seat. So I would come a bit closer so that I have a water resource and as well that I can see you better. Gentlemen, the very first question I would pose to everybody, so it's fair, let's say, to start with the same question for all of you. Maybe we can start with you, Mr. Juchelko.
With pleasure.
With pleasure. It would be, how do you see future of banking in 5 years from the client perspective?
In 5 years?
In 5 years. Range, let's say.
No, I think that, first of all, thank you everybody for being here with us. We are super proud of having the opportunity to support such beautiful events. And we are very proud of having you guys here in Czech Republic and in Prague, first time ever, with the Bankathon. Thank you. Mr. Zurila is here. I saw him. Can you raise your hand? Yes, exactly. This is the winner of this week because he pushed through the bulk of laws through the government and parliament, which are opening completely beautiful new chapter of cooperation of the state and industrial players. I will come back to your 5 years question, don't worry.
No, but this needs applause, I think.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. Why I'm saying that, the state has it seems like the state has super strong ambition to make this country more digital, which means, in other words, that to make the people's life easier and simpler. And we are very much following this path together with the initiative of the state. And we are, if I can speak on behalf maybe of all of three of us, at the service to push it forward and to push it through various stages. Because I believe that in 5 years from now, people will simply search for more free time, more liberty in their lives, even more than today, will not be interested in queuing in front of state institution of bank branch, and will search for solutions which will make their interactions with those organizations easier, simpler, faster, and more user-friendly. In order to be good partners to them, we also need to redo our DNA, to remodel our our businesses in a way which will be either on our own or together with, in cooperation with our partners, more open for new ideas and for solutions which will make the people's life easier.
And if we dig a bit deeper and just try to be more concrete, what would be, if you can tell us 1, 2, 3 concrete examples how the change will look like from your perspective?
I would love you, Andrew, sit in your kitchen 5 years from now, or you prepare yourself for your concert with Dan Barta or Wojciech Dyk or anybody else, and you all of a sudden realize that you didn't ask for prolongation of your driving license, and you log in your bank account in Komerční banka through your mobile application, and you make 2 clicks and your driving license will be renewed. That's how I see one of the examples.
Well, thank you. If this gonna happen...
And we will sell you the insurance for your car with that.
That's cool. I would be really, really thankful for that. Okay, let's continue with the same question. Should I repeat the question or is it okay?
Absolutely.
Should I repeat? Okay. How do you see future of banking in 5 years from the client perspective? 5 years from now?
Yeah, I do believe as well as Honza does. First of all, welcome everyone and thank you for coming. I'm really glad to be invited and I'm honored to be invited into a panel like that. I'm not a technology expert in a sense, but I do believe I do have a certain sense of connection of technology and the business use cases and the client use cases. However, I do believe in a technological future of most of the services. That's first. Digitization is of course part of that, but specifically I do believe that the future is about personification and personalization, we can call it, or customization, whatever you will use. So far we were within the financial industry very much trying to catch individual clients through our commodity offers. And I think, or at least we'd like to convert the view. We'd like to understand customer in the lifetime cycle and be with him or her and understand the underlying needs and help them to prosper and become more financially healthy. And that's how we will convert our business model.
And what would be your example which just comes up in your mind if we are more concrete in this topic?
I, visualize where customer is, talking to us as a financial trusted provider, hopefully, that we will be able to sit and give them a value-added advisory in a way that we will sit together and be able to visualize him the future of his life in a way and give him or her 2 or 3 options how it can go and what should be done today. So I am very much, describing it in as opposed to react what already happened and react what I do feel as a pain today, rather upfront planning and having regular sessions either through digital channel or physical channel, face-to-face with the advisor and thinking about what kind of life I'd like to live. What about education of my children? What about my pension? And to plan today what should happen within a couple of next years. So those are for me, some specific examples of how to visualize it. So upfront planning with the clients rather than consolidating their loans backwards.
Okay. How do you see in Raiffeisenbank future in 5 years of banking?
I'm IT person, so typically I'm the guy who is being blamed for late deliveries, incidents, lack of transparency, and high cost. So the future of banking typically is not on my agenda, but it's obvious.
But anyway, we want to know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think it's quite obvious, and this was said here already, that the electronic channels will dominate as regards the interaction between the private individual clients especially and the bank. I mean, no question about that. We see the various forms of the chatbots Some of the chatbots I see on the screens, you can hardly, distinguish between whether it is robot or really human. So this is something which will, which evolve and will continue. But I still believe that what Monzo, which is basically digital bank, is still calling human touch, will stay there. I even saw that on their web pages, like they said something like, digital bank with a human touch. So this kind of interaction, mainly in advisory services, which I think is something we should improve as a banks, will stay there. Not forever maybe, but at least for some time.
So you think from your perspective we can get rid of this, if you want to open the account, please press 1. If you want something else, please press 2.
I think these days are over already.
Chatbots will be more sophisticated. Okay.
They are already.
They are already.
Yeah,
cool. Just sometimes, just sometimes. I don't want to insult anybody, but just sometimes. You know how is it, always. It's a very difficult topic. But what about the interaction with the clients and the bank? What will change in this topic in the future? What do you think? I can ask you like that. If you don't catch up the words, I can, of course, direct the words to...
We grew in 80s, in the school, so we wait, the teacher will say, you answer.
No.
So I will...
Mr. Juchelko, now we can forget that we are in Czech Republic. Yeah. You just take the word if you feel it. Exactly. It's okay.
30 years of democracy is making us changed, right? So my point here is that it will be the client who decides which interaction is more convenient and most convenient for him or her, or for the company, because we should not forget that businessmen and companies are our clients too. So it might be digital, and you choose your way, voice, click, or you click on your phone. You make any type of interaction with your mobile device. You potentially face more, I would say, a complex life situation, and you would like to speak with somebody on the other side on the line. So either you call him, her, or you go to our branches. I profoundly believe that when we speak about the horizon of 5 to 10 years, that the universal banks will survive with their combination of digital and physical presence to assist their clients. And when speaking about corporations, one of the comforts which are already introduced in either experimental way or a bit more sophisticated solutions is simply the connection of the banking interaction with the accounting systems and tax systems. And again, either they speak with our bankers, who need to be up to the quality of the expectation of the client, or they choose any kind of digital channels for the interaction.
Do you have anything to add to this topic? How will clients interact with the banks and banks with clients?
I fully share the view of the let's say digital environment and the choice of client. But at the end, it is about trust. Yeah, whom do you trust? If you trust the machine, or if you trust digital interface, then it's absolutely fine. However, I do believe that it will change from visiting a branch once a month, as it was within the past, into having a connection with your trusted partner almost on daily basis, or a couple of years. So it's about a stickiness and better understanding of the lifetime situations you are in, and then it is about how you play it all and how you add the value to the customer. So I do believe that it will be a combination. I don't think any financial service will survive without state-of-the-art mobile interface. And in the same time, it will be a big value added if you can play it within an emotional, physical world and become a more trusted partner. That's what I personally believe in.
It's difficult to add anything else, actually, after these statements.
Well, actually, I would have another question, but you have anything, or?
But I hope that we as a banks will stay as a first choice for the customers if they need any kind of advisory as regards the financial services. I mean, this should be our strength in the future.
With, let's say, PSD2, it could be even more difficult to be more relevant as a bank for the client, to offer new things, new strategies. So what would you do to make your bank relevant for the clients in the future?
Why do you think that the PSD2 is getting it complicated more?
Because it will be a much more open system. It will be much more, it will be much more, let's say, easier on each platforms to, in each bank, it will be much more open, the space. So from my perspective, each bank should be much more relevant and quick, to offer new things and new relevant ideas.
All right, then I agree. But that's good, no? That's good for the customer.
Of course.
So only those who will make it happen will survive potentially. And I always quote that those are three different, let's say, stages of openness.
Mm-hmm.
First stage of openness was opening hours within the branches. And you were forced to line up and hope that there will be someone smiling providing the service. The second stage was the internet banking piece, where we displayed some of the services for the self-service through the laptops or desktops. And the third one is now the open banking, where we should open up our APIs and be ready for the partnership of other service providers. And that's natural, fine, and it's playing with the needs of the customers, so it's fine.
I think what makes any financial institution to be relevant for the customer is basically a combination of three things. Actually, these were mentioned here already. And first of all, this is trust of the customers. I mean, these days, this is something which is taken for granted, that when customers trust their financial institution, then it's, again, the ability to advise the customer in some important situations for him. And then I forgot the third one, actually. No, this is what I would call convenience of the services, because the services must be not only the simple but the convenient. They have to make the life of our customers easier. And so I see these three elements as something which makes any financial institutions to be relevant for the customers.
Well, but as the trust in your cases would be quite ready to go, I would say, because you are the biggest on the market,
We couldn't operate without the trust.
Probably you really got to find in this more and more open and more transparent environment, you should find, like, from my perspective as an amateur, as a bank amateur, and as a client, let's say new ways, new opportunities to be more relevant. So if you can be more concrete, I would be super happy.
You know what is the sign on the back of Thomas is European banking world, no, the open banking world begin. And this is exactly the claim of this conference, and you have the same, by the way, on your back. Because as Martin mentioned, united under the same initiative, under the same logo for these 3 beautiful days, we are showing also that on one hand, all of these banks, of the traditional players here, have been building step by step on very long time basis the trust with their clients. And we do our best to change our behaviors, habits, and approaches to the client in a way which will, A, keep the trust existing, and B, will bring the simple, fast, and user-friendly service to them. And we will do it either on our own or, as we did this Bankathon, in cooperation with younger companies, with somebody who has, for some reasons, better ideas or is faster in developing those ideas. So here, I would not see it as something like coming from the regulator, because PSD2 at the end of the day is a paper written by a regulator, and we have thousands of other papers written by the regulators, and we need to cope with and stick to all of them. So here I would rather say that PSD2 is sort of almost obsolete abbreviation, because everybody understands that the open banking and the systems of banks open to the entrance of external cooperating parties is, if it is made in the good of the client, then it's fine. So there will be, and there is already plenty of opportunities to show. I think that each of us is able to name couple of services which are already working this way.
Well, is it possible to keep, let's say, pace with digital banks like N26, Monzo, Revolt, or is it possible for you? How you do it?
You also need to ask the question, because I mean these new banks, they typically serve only one customer segment typically, and we are the universal bank, so we have to take care about our corporate customers as well. But as I think some of you already mentioned this, we need to rapidly change our operating model in certain cases. I mean, actually, all of our banks are now undergoing certain transformations in different forms, and this is exactly the purpose of it, that we need to be much quicker than we are used to be, because we are big organizations with all our processes, legacy systems, complex architecture and so on, and we have to change, and this is what we have been doing already for some time, and we already see the very first results. So I don't want to say that we want to be more agile, because I don't like this word anymore. Everybody's using that.
Do you keep the pace?
Well, I will play a bit the parent company card here. We have in France our purely online bank, which is named Boursorama, which was established quite a long time ago and is achieving now like 2 million active clients in France. So we as Société Générale Group, we are able to create our own challenger, which is on one hand somehow potentially cannibalizing our own business. On the other hand, is playing a very important role in testing various solutions, models, which are, let's say, doable only outside of the traditional world of the universal bank. We at KB, we are doing our best to keep up. We are staying in our traditional fields of providing our banking services from A to Z. We have 2 corporate bankers just arriving, Mr. Trachta and Mrs. Haubová, who are serving the top-notch segment of corporate clients, as well as we do our best in serving the retail clients. So, in order to compare the apples with apples, I think that those niche players are able to beat us in one of the dedicated service, or let's say a very tiny niche of the service. And the only thing which we can do here is to take the appropriate part of inspiration and try to catch up here. But the game is slightly different. You know, it's like asking you. I heard your rehearsal before going here to the stage, so I think that you are not completely ignorant towards opera. But if I asked you whether you would go to National Opera and fight with the stars here, what would be the game? You are definitely better in singing in different niche part of art. They are probably better producing or better translating the opera parts of the world masters. Did I answer? I'm probably going too far from banking, right?
Yeah, like. No, it's okay. Thank you.
It's Bankathon, right?
As that we could understand better, you know. Thank you for this example. Mr. Salomon, do you have anything from your side?
Yeah, I just it's about self-confidence very much. Yeah, we and openness and being humble enough, because I take it as a very nice challenge in order to be able to stand up and understand what the others are doing, if it's global or if it's local. We sustained, I do believe, the first comers into a Czech market. I think it's not so horrible as it was described. I remember the times 20, 15 years ago where everyone was saying, you know, there will be no branch within 1 or 2 years. And it somehow evolves, and it's keeping us wake. It's motivating us to play our own game. I'm much more preferring to be a offensive player rather than defense, because we cannot win. With defense, you can probably end up hopefully on the par with others. But I know how difficult it is to scale the thing. So I agree with Honza that playing within a niche, either of one country or just one segment, is something different than to provide the complex financial advisory. So everyone should make a decision.
So let's dig deeper into the digital world, and let me ask you the question: what kind of digital improvements there was in your banks recently?
We came up a week ago, 2 weeks ago, with the new version of our mobile application for Android, where you can, we are, let's say, after having like thousands of interviews of the clients, we have put new features in it, and we have simplified some existing features already. So one of those which are more like the most visible, like physically visible, is that you can choose the light mode or the dark mode of the mobile. And we are going up, which, by the way, if you already installed the new version of iOS in your iPad, is the new feature there. So we were 2 weeks before Apple going up with that. And I will probably stop here because it's sort of ridiculous to go from one to the other. This one was the most recent.
I think we fit rather to the fast follower, hopefully, than the first comer with the services. However, I'm very proud that I do believe, established the environment of open APIs within a banking market here, and we defined let's say the way it should be done, and the principles of working that. So it probably started even before I came to Spořitelna. However, if it was kind of partisan world within Spořitelna, or if it was official, doesn't matter. We are very good in that. And as a part of that, I'm very proud that we rolled out our new, because if you just imagine, we've got 1.7 satisfied customers within a service 24, which was our internet banking, and within 12 months we were able to convert it into a George with almost no dead valley of satisfaction, and it's a whole lot of executional job done, yeah, and we are committed to improve it and have a George as a digital advisor with the AI and machine learning behind, and deliver the value to the customer. So this is our etalon of the group solution, as well as the Czech, hopefully the mobile app #1. Yeah.
And we do instant payments, both, and few more. You pay, in few seconds, the person to whom you pay is seeing the money on the account. We should speak about that, no?
We should, because we were within the first wave. I'm glad that the second big bank joined us, because I think it's very good for the customers and a bit threatening for card associations. However, let's see what would be the future about, and the instant payments are very interesting topics. So
we must be careful about promoting too much the instant payments, because Marcel Gajdoš from Visa is here, and he's probably scratching his head. What is the future of card in the light of? You can ask him when he is on the stage in a minute.
So if I understand properly, for instance, the expedition of the goods you are ordering could be immediate with this payment. They don't have to wait for...
The payment is immediate. The payment.
Of course.
Payment.
And that's why everything can be quicker.
If you open your account in KB, I can send you the money and you will see it in a few seconds.
I should have downloaded
and
the
then
app
you send it
before.
back, and I will be in a few seconds see that.
Still, I feel this duty to pose this question to all of you. So what is your digital latest improvements, or the most important digital improvements?
I mean, we in Raiffeisen recently introduced the NFC wallet on Android devices. It works only for MasterCard. I apologize to Mr. Gerder from Visa. But we are working on that. But I mean, adoption by the customers was quite okay. I mean, in 2 weeks, we've got like 20,000 customers who were onboarded. In average, they did like, I don't know, 3 transactions, whatever. So, I mean, it works quite well, and we want to continue with this.
How do you perceive those PSD2 achievements, opportunities and threats? You know, is it more for you as really opportunity for the future, or threat as a hygienist who is entering the cafe and just throwing the stones underneath the legs of the provider?
Well, if I may, I will probably repeat my words and repeat my colleagues' words a little bit here, but as people or companies are walking through their lives, they are facing various simple or complicated life situations, and we are here at their service to make those situations solved quickly. And those situations are not necessarily only linked to bank or banking service. So in order to master that discipline at best, we need to partner with companies and service providers from other industries. And this is the answer. I mean, the PSD2 and the open banking is not so complicated discipline if you are able to invite adequate number of players who are as client obsessed as you are, and together you are going and helping people or companies to solve their problems and life situations. So I see it as an opportunity rather than as a threat, because the threat is like, you know, it's like inevitable, it's coming. So
as Eckhart,
it's like looking at the wave, you know, in the sea and waiting whether it will kill me or not.
That's very nice.
You rather start running or swimming, right?
Oh, that's very nice, because actually today I heard this sentence from Eckhart Tolle, who is saying, anything happens in your life, you gotta take it as you have chosen it. And that's cool that you perceive it in the same way.
Yeah, but if you think we are really lucky within the financial industry, that if you look at the lifetime situations, behind most of those, there is certain touch with money. And we thought in the past that we can provide by ourselves most of those, because we were thinking within the commodities and just financial products. And I look at it, and PSD2 is an excellent opportunity to use those commodities and link them to the lifetime situations. This is where exactly I see the connection with any kind of service providers, and make a partnership. And that's the key thing, because we were not, let's say, set up either organizationally or even mentally to build the partnerships as a big banks. Yeah. Many times we were arrogant, many times we thought that we will prepare everything by ourselves, and that's something we should talk about and get ready and change the mentality in order to be able to cooperate efficiently with those partners, whatever size they are.
For you, is it more opportunity or threat?
I agree with what Mr. Juchelka said, basically, that PSD2 represents certain risk which is manageable. One of the way how to manage this is to cooperate with the various companies, because what in theory might happen to the banks might be something similar what happened to the mobile operators. We can lose the interface to the customer, at least in retail. Because today, if you take a mobile phone, which is a smartphone, you typically do not care what is there, whether it's Vodafone, O2, or T-Mobile, because you use this device for many other purposes. And this is something what in theory could happen within the PSD2. That we could lose this interface, that means we could effectively lose the interaction with the customer. But it's manageable. Well, and we have to take it seriously.
I will give you one super positive story. Would you like to hear that?
Go with it.
All right. We took a couple of our post-millennials in the company, guys who were sort of on the way thinking about whether they should continue their working careers in the bank or not. and they had a fantastic, crazy idea how to crack the real estate market, which is very hard for banks because we don't sell and we don't buy buildings, we finance buildings. So we gave them pocket money. They started to put some ideas on the paper. Then from the paper to computers, then they started to prepare a real estate portal, which is making the stress situation of people who are taking like 20 years mortgage loan and which makes them a bit nervous into something what is like go and follow your dreams about your own home, and we will help you to go through this process smoothly. So they invited tens of the largest real estate agents in Czech Republic into the game. So another proof of bringing somebody from outside to help your client to go through the situation smoothly. They have a couple of money from us. They have their own enthusiasm and ideas, and they are they have created the real estate portal obviously with our mortgage loan embedded, but also with many other services embedded. Like they can make the moving company coming to your home and bring you to your new home. They can connect you with gas and electricity company, etc., etc. The funny story is they have their own press conference next Tuesday, so I'm a little bit, stealing their idea here. But they want to say, and we want to say through them, that the only way forward is to keep your eyes, your systems, and your nerves open for signals from outside. Otherwise, any industry, any traditional industry, we can go outside the banking, will not survive in the current way of doing business. That's my conviction.
Well, just I would ask you a last question, which would be a bit more philosophical, let's say, because I feel from a perspective of a customer, not a pro, that it's a lot about sustainability, right, nowadays. But the whole general sustainability of Earth, of planet Earth, of our mankind and stuff. And I feel that the world is like crazy fast connecting together. The technologies, the banks, the finances, the technologies are connecting. Digitalization of the world is so quick. And it's like that quick. But the people are sort of disconnecting from one another. So let's say the difference from my perspective is going like that. Isn't it from you a very big disbalance which could somehow, and maybe we can't even imagine how, crack one day, and yeah, some little disaster can happen. Shouldn't be it more about ego versus eco, about ecological future, and shouldn't be the banks as well the one who is leading the world to this new, more conscious future?
You should probably send the other panelists home, because now we will be sitting here for 4 hours and discussing that, right? Or invite them here and give them the same
still
question,
have 3 minutes.
or after. I need to say that we at Société Générale Group, we are one of the signatory parties of the new declaration which was done like a week ago at the United Nations meeting, where we are declaring that we do care about the future of the planet. We are committing ourselves in financing until 2021 like 100 billion euro equivalent to renewable sources of energy. We are on the way to ban completely financing of coal burning plants, etc. I know I am now speaking here in Czech Republic, where still 48% of the energy produced comes from coal burning power plants. Nonetheless, the largest players here have their own plans how to phase out those sources of energy until 2030 or 2040. My point here is that yes, you are right. I think that we are heading to potentially to a huge crisis, which might go beyond the control of humans. And the question is whether we are now making the steps which are pushing down or compressing those differentiations which you have just described, or they are just putting them even larger. I do believe that, especially here in Czech Republic, especially the banking sector is doing its best to continue working and delivering the results whilst building the business models on sustainable basis.
Well, more influence you have, more you can control it and involve it. So that's why I'm asking you this question at the end, because I find it very important. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, look, I will touch it from different angle. That's one of the reasons why I do believe within a balance of physical and digital environment, because what I do worry really about is that for the civic society as such, and for self-standingness of the individuals and mental health even, the digital environment is a bit dangerous. Yeah, if you remember, a couple of decades back, there wasn't too many other chances. If you'd like to talk to other person, to go into a pub in the middle of your village or town and drink a couple of beers and have a debate. Yeah, and you immediately knew, and that there was just one or two pubs only, so there were different ideas and constructive debate, sometimes crashing at the end, but still, it was pretty healthy. Today, unfortunately or fortunately, within a digital environment, you can sneak out very easily, and you can create your own bubble or become part of the bubble where almost everyone has the same opinion, and you think then that the world is running this way. Yeah, and then you are not many times able, especially being young, distinguish between the reality and the digital reality or virtual reality, and that's what I'm afraid of, and that's why I do believe that one of our, let's say, things we can deliver for society and for individuals to help them to deal with the digital environment in a way that it adds value, and in the same time the people and our clients should keep their own opinion and be self-standing and having ability to critically think about the services we do provide as well as others. Yeah, and that's our duty. It's what I believe is one of our duties.
It's responsibility of each person as well. Just briefly, if you have anything to say.
I mean, the problem of the mankind is that our brains were formed for I don't know how many thousands years, and they are not able to keep pace with the development of the technology. That's why the modern technology is very often used in a very stupid way, which in case of mobile phone is okay. In case of weapons of mass destruction is a different story. My main concern is very similar to what Mr. Salomon said, that I mean, people trust what they see on the Facebook, on the internet. They simply trust it, and they do not need to be retired people, very old, but the young, educated people. And this is one of the threats that we might see some Big Brother kind of stuff in the future.
Thank you for this last thing. It's as well about our responsibility, right? So please, if you download Raiffeisen app or Česká spořitelna Komerční banka app, it saves your time probably, right? Because it's the best technology, so it saves our time. But let's use this time to go to the forest with our children and not to play computer games. Thank you, guys. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
It was perfect. Thank you so much for your insights. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Martine, just brief question. We continue directly. You don't have anything to add. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with the next half an hour panel discussion, which will be about digital leaders, about fintech world and fintech future. So let me invite here country manager Czech Republic and Slovakia from Visa, Mr. Marcel Gajdoš. Hello, Mr. Gajdoš. Please take your seat, have a water. And then I would like to invite 4 Czech and global system integrators and consulting companies. First would be Clever Lens and technology and visionary leader from this company, Mr. Ladislav Gaťa. Hello, Mr. Gatya. Welcome here on the stage. Please take your seat. Then from Deloitte, Mr. Stepan Husek. Welcome, Mr. Husek. From IBM, CEE Banking and Financial Market, Mr. Jan Choma. Hello for you as well. And then from Trask, Executive Director, Brand and Strategic Innovations, Mr. Jan Antos. Fast jingle. Okay. Welcome on the stage. And then, ladies and gentlemen, let me invite from Czech FinTech Association, Mrs. Maria Stankiewicz. Boost, gotta feel like that we've gotta move like this. For the lady, I just wanted to sing to make it more fluent, you know. Okay, let's say, pose the two first questions for everybody, to be fair, with this panel discussion. The first one would be, how will cooperate fintechs, startups, and other partners? We can start with you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for inviting us over here. I am from Visa, and what I can say, if someone thinks about us, so it's very easy to confirm that what we don't do, we don't issue cards, and we don't provide any loans. So you know that this is Visa. And secondly, I think we are one of the oldest fintechs in the world. So we've been celebrating 60th year. So my card actually, not this one, and it's neutral, so I didn't pick the Czech bank, has a history of 16 years, okay? And why we are over here? Because we are fintech, and we want to cooperate with fintechs. We want to cooperate with startups, and of course, we have also our dear clients over here, which are banks. So this is perfect environment, how to combine all these parties together and come up with something very clever and very nice, what our customers would consume. So very simply at the beginning.
Thank you so much. How will cooperate fintech startups
hello everybody.
with other partners?
I would like to really thank for the opportunity to take place in this panel. So answering your first question, I think important matter is that PSD2 is a kind of imposed innovation on the financial institution. It's not something they have come up as their choice. So, for example, 2 years ago, most of the banks, they were not clear about the strategy, what they want to do with the APIs. And I think that from that time, they are still trying to figure out what would be the future and what the PSD2 will bring to them. So they apparently understood the way forward is to really start to communicate. And I think the best example is this kind of event. So if they want to understand what they want to do with their APIs, they need to really communicate with the community, communicate with a potential API consumer, and then they will understand not just the opportunities, but also the possible threats. Another thing I would like to mention is that the PSD2 is not just for friends. So definitely there will be partners which will comfort the bank's businesses and will help them, for example, to get new clients. But there will be definitely some business models they would not comfort the banks, and in this situation, I don't think there will be a kind of appetite for cooperation from the financial institution side, and then it's more about the fintechs and the third parties to have a kind of to find a common ground in this kind of thing.
Mr. Husek, how do you see this cooperation?
Well, if you look at the global market and if you look at fintech, so why the fintechs are here? So the main reason to be here for them is to take over the role of the banks. Yeah? The question is whether they are successful or not. Right now, unfortunately, they are not successful. And it's because of, well, most of the fintechs, they are successful because they implemented the new technologies, they do things very quickly, they work in an agile mode because they are small and they are no such regulated. Maybe if they will succeed and start to take over the role of the banks, then the regulation will come, yeah? And then the complexity of startup/fintech will increase. So these days, while the cooperation of the startups and banks, or fintechs and banks is there, many fintechs were acquired by the banks, or the banks got inspired from the fintechs. What fintechs brings to the market is the new technologies and new or unique user experience. That's the pro. Where the fintechs will fail, still now, and there is a lot of fintechs in different areas. So, for example, there is a new fintech that wants to play a role of the bank and brings to the market totally new digital process of mortgages, for example. But still, the fintechs are failing in taking over the role of the banks. So the cooperation is there. In many cases, banks got inspired, and also the fintechs forces them to implement the new technologies and to be more focused on customers. Thank you.
Thank you. How do you see it? How will cooperate fintechs, startups and other partners? And maybe I would just ask you to talk more to the microphone so that people can hear. And guys from the technique, kluci, jestli nás můžete přidat do monitoru, tady tenhle ten druhý mikrofon, já jsem dobrý, ale aby jsme se slyšeli do toho monitoru, tenhle ten druhý mikrofon přidat. Děkujeme.
So, in my opinion, the collaboration between banks, fintechs, and third parties should go further beyond the current collaboration. We've seen it actually during yesterday and today, where fintechs, like Stepan said, or Mr. Juchelka said, have certain technological capabilities, and some of them also have a content, a domain knowledge. But to move the whole business forward in this area, I think that the third parties should be involved much more. An example could be accounting companies that have lots of information about their SME clients, which is a segment very interesting for the banks, right? Those accounting companies are not yet there in the collaboration between banks and fintech. So, my opinion, the collaboration further is in involving other third parties much more actively.
Okay. Hello. Yeah. Well, I think there are two different things to consider. One of them are the companies like Revolut that are trying to beat the bank. I would not call them fintechs. They are basically banks that are using technology more than the others. And then if you think about the word fintech, it's a financial technology. So it's about companies that actually develop something that will enhance the financial industry, and in some way it will make life of clients easier usually. Sometimes more complicated, but usually it's easier. So if I look on fintechs, I'm looking for this new smart technology that can help the banks to serve the clients better. And it's actually the same what we are looking on at Trask, where we are already basically used two of these fintechs, and because of that we can make the onboarding process much faster, or we can optimize the background processes in the bank in a very efficient way. And it's because we can find and get some smart technology, and then we can use it for the profit of the bank. And that's, I think, the way forward. And it is very similar with, if you have the iPhone, I mean, anybody can create the app on the iPhone, and it's not destroying the Apple ecosystem, it's making it stronger because it's enhancing the tool. So I think that all of these financial technology, new fintechs, will enhance the value of the bank, which is like the infrastructure underneath it, and which will always be needed. That's what I think. But to be able to do this, there must be a larger ecosystem of players. The fintechs usually can't serve the big corporate banks, so they need someone to help them. They need someone to promote them. So it's more companies together that have to assemble so that something useful comes out of this cooperation.
Maria, how do you see the future of cooperation fintechs with the others?
I will start Sorry. Also, good afternoon from me, and thank you for inviting me. And I'll start with a very generic reply to the question. It always depends. And you already stole my line because I wanted to start my reply with the highlight that fintech is.
It's not stealing. He just made it easier for you, you know.
So fintech is an abbreviation for financial technology, not a specific type of a company. So I think I don't like myself putting into two extremes banks on one hand, the small and the so-called fintech companies on the other side of the scale, because they all try to provide financial services using technology. And it's not only small companies that are using technologies, it's companies like Visa, MasterCard, banks, etc. So the cooperation will always depend on what the company goal is itself. If it's just a provider of a service that will, white label service that will be then provided further by the bank, it's one way of cooperating. It can be also, the small companies can be seen as a specific laboratory for banks, and in such cases, those companies can even be established or supported by banks, because banks, being bigger corporations, don't have that much, they are not so agile to test new ideas, so it's always better to give the task to a smaller company that can test and fail, and provided that solution is successful, then the bank can either use it or buy the company. So it's always dependent on the goal of the company.
What products, services, you have anything to add? Okay.
Yeah, just to Stepan's point that not all of the fintechs are successful. One of the reasons is that they have the technology, but they do not think about the business, right? And we've seen it yesterday and today that lots of guys are very good at making codes, but when we ask them, okay, what is the problem you're solving, right? And then what are the benefits of your solution and how you're gonna market it, what is the sales behind it? These are the tough questions that also from my experience, because I coach some startups, it's difficult for them to answer. Yeah, so this is also one aspect of collaboration between fintechs and banks, how the fintechs will start thinking differently about themselves, actually.
Okay. The next question, the services, opportunities, domains, which they'll be focusing to. How do you see that?
So we have on one hand opportunities, on the other hand we have some challenges, and I'm looking for both CEOs, but they are not over here, because they started discussion around payments as such, and they mentioned direct payments or faster payments as a competitive, or maybe I would say alternative to the payments you actually know, but not all of you, because again, we need to say, and the reason I hope that everybody today is over here, that of course we compete on certain levels, but the biggest competition still is what customer actually is doing rather than what we are offering. So coming back to your question, we need to first make sure that whatever is developed, even from today's session, then our customer would like to, or consumer would like to use it. And priority definitely for us, and where we are focused, and why I'm also leading to that ground, is that still the biggest competition to all of us, at least in the payment schemes, is cash. So cash, no one else. Cash is the actual opportunity and challenge for us, and how we would like to basically tell customer or consumer that they should not do what they do. And by the way, in the Czech Republic, there are still around 55 to 60% of people who shop with cash. They don't shop electronically, they shop with cash. And one of the main reasons why and what we are doing is to basically grow the pie of the non-cash transactions. And again, how we can grow that could be that we deliver something, we deliver rails. So if you think about Visa, so it's not a card, it's not the product, it's the rail behind. We connect, but in order to accelerate and change the behavior of the cardholders, or not cardholders, but consumers, we would need to come up with some accelerated ways. And that is why we are all sitting over here, and it's actually perfect mix, because we are sort of companies who deliver to the biggest consumer, which is not now cash, what I refer to, but to the banking sector. And fintechs, again, for us in Visa world, are companies who do some credentials. So fintech would be normally company who would either issue card or any credential which you put into your phone. Startup would be a company who would actually help to accelerate and improve the way how we pay, and would actually sort of delete the friction we currently have in the payments. So this is something what I might actually say at the beginning. So when we speak about products and services, it can be anything which is a mixture of either delivering to the partner or to the consumer or to the banking sector, or it can be even coming from the other side. Consumer tells us what to do. So there are no any concrete products or services I would like to talk today about. I only wanted to highlight the cash is number one opportunity and challenge for us, and number two, how fast we can actually convert people what they do through these cash payments to electronic payments. So these are sort of two important pillars.
Ladislav?
Okay, so I would take it more from the PSD2 perspective, because it's, I think, the main topic on this event. And there are two obvious streams. It's like payments and financial data. And I agree 100% that I hope that the PSD2 will help eliminate the cash transaction more. So I think cards did a great business, obviously, and hopefully PSD2 will be able to add something to it. So the first and most important domain is to really, if it will succeed in a way that the payments will be cheaper, accessible, easier, and more relevant. The second area are the financial data, which is like there are endless use cases, what you can do with it. The most obvious cases will be like personal finance management, wealth management. The data will be used by credit companies to do credit checks and scoring to simplify and accelerate the loan origination processes, client onboarding processes, and so on. I'm really keen to see how the financial data will help to accelerate some industries beyond financial and commerce, whether really it can contribute to some matters of greater cost like healthcare or climate change, because the financial data tells a lot about you. It's like where do you're shopping, what do you eat, where do you travel, what kind of means of transport you use, and all of these things. Obviously, not all the details are in the financial transaction, but if you use the financial transaction like some element that will help to build your timeline, then possibly correlating this with your health status and put the data in some artificial intelligence, you can really make a great cause for healthcare. And also I can imagine an application that will calculate from your financial data some of your carbon footprint, and will give you some notification, sorry guy, for this month it was enough, go and shop something else, and don't go with the car and take the public transport or something like that.
So you really think that fintechs can like
I
make
don't
the
think.
world
I
a better place?
I just hope.
Well,
and
that would be perfect.
And
I'm with you.
I think the financial data is just another kind of puzzle piece of the entire puzzle, all the personal data that are available in the cloud.
Well, let me continue to this discussion here, because well, I think that it might be any kind of banking service that well, the fintechs might provide, or some microservice, let's say, like for example, just a scoring, to implement some new technologies to help to score the clients, to take not only the data that are available in a bank, but the data from outside the world and score the client better, maybe better. Yeah. But in generic, I think that well, the initiative of PSD2 is a start of the open banking. And if you can imagine what open banking at the end means is that you can compose your own bank from different service providers. And the service provider might be the other bank or the fintech. Yeah? So for example, if you have 5 products, you can compose it together and use front end, for example, and there are some fintechs that are providing just a front ends, banking front ends. So put a front end on the top of it to cover all the services. And you can have, for example, banking in-cloud from Česká spořitelna, mortgage from, I don't know, Komerční banka, it's partner as well and it's organizer here, and maybe some microloan from some fintech. Yeah? So that's possible. And in this world, well, everybody, and it's not only the banking industry, but all the industries, they are looking for some platformization. And the platformization is also about the data and about how to use and how to, let's say, make the money on selling the data that you have. It's a monetization. But the question is, how many platforms we will be able to consume and where is the right space for those? And as I said, there are also fintechs looking and thinking in that way to build a banking platform. And we have had some platforms there. Some of them were successful, some of them not.
Do you need to repeat
No.
the question?
No. So I think that the services that should appear from clients' perspective, if I speak about SMEs, the banks and fintechs should develop services which will take the pain of the shoulders of SME owners, like payroll, VAT claims, taxes, and these things, right? So in terms of SME, this is, I think, the area where the solutions can come from fintechs and banks. If I look at retail customers, the biggest threat, I think, for banks is not fintechs, but the GAFO, Google, Amazon, and these companies. So if the fintech can help the bank create services which will counteract the threat of those big giants, that would be of a great value for the bank. Yeah? If I speak about wealth management clients, then the services fintechs can provide would be in the area of enabling less wealthy but still investor-minded clients to do investment into wealth management tools, right? And that can be done through automation, through AI. So these are the kinds of services that then clients will be valuing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that everybody is falling asleep a little bit now. So I have a question for you. I know that you are almost all of you are bankers or somebody doing with the financial industry, but who of you likes banking, going to the bank and doing anything with the financials? Give me your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. And who hates it? Yeah, I would rather be playing with my kids than going to bank. I would rather be doing my hobbies than using the smartphone to do the banks. And I think the role of the fintechs and the area where they focus is actually removing this friction and trying to make it for us easier, I mean for us as a people, to work with the banking. And they help by either providing some new smart technology to banks or by challenging them as a competition and showing that you don't need to put your password 5 times to enter one payment, and maybe you can even do no-clicks payment, right? It's Uber who did it first, but I don't know if you know about Benzina application. If you want to go and wash your car, you don't even need to step out of the car, you don't need to push anything, just drive through, or you choose the program, that's the only thing. So that's the way forward, and this is the areas where the fintech is focusing, and I think it's great, and it's helping the whole industry a lot, and it's basically creating the banking services invisible in your daily situation, so that you don't really need to think about banking. So that's something that I think is this is something we should support, all of us. We should help, because this is the way forward.
Yeah, I have my own. If you ask me about the evaluation of PSD2, in the first place, it's a change of a mindset, which is quite unoften on European continent. I'm not speaking about the United Kingdom right now, but it was one of the first times that, one of the few times that innovation was as if forced by regulation, and we are only to see what this will, what sort of new services and business models it will trigger, because thanks to PSD2, we got access to a huge repository of data, and we are still don't know what business models it will open. Of course, the most obvious examples are personal finance management, but I think things like event management of customer relations, when you, because now we can connect your banking, your financial data with other applications, with your location, with your mood, etc. So now the bank or any company that provides financial services can offer you the products based on an event that happens in your real life. So I think this is one of the areas that services might go into. Also, in the first panel, I think it was you who mentioned that it might be easier that right now we just call the bank and see and tell we'll be asked to choose one or two depending on the services we want. But I think the technological direction is going into a voice control much more, rather than pressing the mobile phone, which is of course one of the most important device that we have right now. But it's going to be less operated manually, more by over voice. So I think these are at least two directions we're going to go.
Yeah, but maybe I would continue with your answer, Jan. Okay. I always loved France, you know, because for instance, 10 years ago when we started to have this boom with all the supermarkets, you just, in France, you come to the bakery and you see this woman which you see every day, and you come there, and there is this kind of human interaction. So aren't you scared that with all this fintech world technologies and future technologies, we will get rid of this human contact? And as well, of course, there is a great having this choice, you know, but that is a question if people which will have more time thanks to all the fintech solutions, if they will use this time to see their grandma, you know, or for some other digital future, you know, things.
Those were two questions. The first one was about meeting the same person again and again and having the relationship. I think it's already past, because if I see the frequency of how many times my relationship manager is changing, it's actually more often than I'm visiting the bank. And actually my bank, I won't name it, they already figured out, so they stopped informing me about relationship manager change, because it was more often than any other communication that I got from the bank. So this is already gone, I think. And about using the time, it's a question, but people will use it for something they want, not for something they have to do and they don't like.
So maybe let's pose the questions differently. Is there anything you have on your mind? What could what could fintech world provide, you know, to make the future of mankind really better in a general way, not just in a financial way and in a way of sparing the time, maybe healthcare, maybe environment. Let's say to use the data for something what has the wider perspective. And please very shortly, because we have like 2 minutes to go. So, yeah, microphone.
So because I'm from fintech company, so I can say what Visa is doing actually. No, I mean, and the data, this is actually very good topic. I will not elaborate much on that, but what I want to say, the biggest positive thing, what happened through, you know, providing people infrastructure and payments is that unbanked people became banked people, and when you have banked population, they can do very informative decisions, and this is extremely important. So it drives the whole economy, it drives society, and we see that it impacts everybody, not only us over here, but it impacts the whole world. And the topic you said about disconnecting, connecting, actually, when we moved some 60 years back to the shop, if you, at the time, if you came to the shop, your shop assistant knew you by your name. He knew exactly what basket you would actually need. He knew exactly what you were buying. Now we are back to the future in 2019. Suddenly we realized that again, we like to go to the shop physically where someone knows you, and the same virtually. If you go, for example, and I'm not paid by Amazon, if I go to Amazon, they exactly know what I like, what is my taste, and they will offer that to me. And I like that approach. I don't need anybody physically, but they know that they are personalizing and they're thinking about my taste. And the same for the physical shops. So I think this connectivity is happening, but in virtual world, not in physical, but still is happening. So we are again coming to the point that we like to interact, but in different channels and in different ways. So simple as that.
Okay, so I think I
Maybe
already
mentioned
that the financial data are actually telling a lot about your lifestyle. It's a track record about you as a consumer, so you can correlate it with healthcare, your carbon footprint, and so on. But I will just show the reaction to the human interaction. I don't think the human interaction, it will be overtaken by fintechs, because if you look to e-commerce, I think we still have enough brick stores. If you have food deliveries, and still I don't think we have less restaurants. And with the, let's say, bank personals and interaction with some financial agents will be the same, that you will have the option to do it digitally, but you still have a lot of options to do it in person.
Well.
Okay. But really last one, but really quickly, because we are about to really
just let me. I'm lucky on the last one. Thank you. so let me react.
She should be the last one.
On that,
She's a woman.
So for sure there are services that were digitalized in the past. Yeah? Look at the TMT, let's say media industry. Look at CDs. Are there still? No. Everything is in digital way. So I think, the future of those services and what might bring is also to, let's say, change the business models or help them to change it, to use the new technology to completely rethink the business model and rethink the customer interaction within the services. And as Jan said, maybe there will be one day where the banking will be embedded or hidden. Yeah? So there will be just the services, and you don't need to know how to pay or how to take a loan. It will be embedded and automatically and hidden.
Nice point for the end. Thank you so much. We are running over the time, so please make some noise for lady and gentlemen for this discussion. Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your insights, for all the insights you gave us. Thank you that you hold up with us. Now you can take some refreshment, and I'm hanging over.
And as well as thank you to Andrew.
Thank you so much,
Great
Martin.
show. Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be with you today. And now I give you the word. That's the only thing.
I have just the practical information.
What I can do.
So
it's all yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You are welcome back in 20 minutes.
Yeah, let's do 20 minutes since we're running a little bit over. Yeah. 20 minutes.
So it was just the introductory part, and the highlight of today is upcoming. Maybe you are curious why here are so many free spaces, many chairs empty, because they just preparing the show until the last second. We are waiting for 27 teams to be here on the stage to play their stories, to let you feel the emotions and show your hacks. So you are invited back in 20 minutes. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome, and welcome as well as jury and upcoming teams.
It's time for the final pitches. That's what we are all here for. We have seen 30 hours of coding. The teams have working hard all night, and now it's coming here to the final presentations.
Have you ever tasted instant coffee without any water? Just imagine, weeks of thinking, days of designing, after that 30 hours non-stop coding, and then just 4 minutes and sharp end. So, this will be pitches.
Exactly. So we have designed, as of course the attendees know, but for everybody else, we will see the pitches in 6 different tracks. So we'll start with a travel expense management for SME tracks, powered by Visa. Then followed by the financial education for kids track, powered by IBM. Then we will have a short break of half an hour. And we are seeing more tracks, open banking for SMEs, powered by KB, the wealth management track, powered by Deloitte, new business models, powered by Česká Spořitelna, and multi-banking, powered by RBI and Trask. So this is the order of presentations. So this is here a call for the teams. Please be ready when you see that the team ahead of you is presenting. Please come.
So actually the reminder for all teams, please be ready.
And please wait over there so we can go quickly the handover. And as Martin mentioned, 4 minutes sharp. There will be no Q&A. There will be no other chance to deliver your message. Everything has to be put in the 4 tracks.
So, it will be travel expense management. Have you ever traveled as employee or as a self-employed person? You were gathering bills, some papers in your pockets, and then giving back to accountants. Maybe the life could be simpler. So, we are looking forward for 2 teams, which are coming from Czech and Slovakia. Please give them your applause.
And before every presentation, you're going to see a slide overview, so you kind of know what you're expecting, what team is coming on stage, and also what problem they're directly targeting. So, group travel is our first team here on stage. So, please join us and show your solution.
So, have you ever been to a business trip? Have you ever been to a really good business trip where you have a lot of fun in the evening and then you have really big trouble settling the expenses afterwards? This is exactly what happened with us yesterday with Bankathon, but fortunately we have an application for that. So we will show you a live demo. Martin, can you show us the dashboard? Oh, 25,000. That sounds like a good party. Very good party. But 17,000 we should pay by ourselves. No, that can't be right. Can you show me the details? Okay, Brasileiro. Oh, it was with a business partner. This company will pay it. Switch it. Okay, let's return to the dashboard. It should look better now. Yeah, it looks better. But with so many people, so many cards, I think we have missed something. Go to the expenses again. Yeah, definitely we had to miss something. Can you import transactions from Visa, please? Yeah, one is missing. No, that will not help us. That's a personal one. Please switch it to personal. No, we need to be really honest with the company. We can't cheat them. That's not fair. Okay, import. And go to the dashboard. Okay, looks good. 700 in personal, it's fine. Scroll down, please. Okay, yeah, I think I'm comfortable with this.
So guys, did you see how we run into this messy situation and how quickly and easily we can fix it? With our brand new application, you can do it at your own, and along with the connected to your company card, it's an easy, even if you have a little hangover.
Let's imagine how expenses are done with cash. Michal arrives from an exhausting business trip in London and needs to fill in all the reimbursement paperwork.
Where is all our money? We need to pay a mortgage immediately.
I'm so sorry, Natka. I'm so sorry. I had to spend all our private money for my business trip.
Michal, the accountant is leaving in 5 minutes. You have to submit your reimbursement now, and it will be paid next month.
Oh my God.
Travel expense management can be done differently. It's called smart travel, where everything is paperless. Now let's imagine how it should be done with Visa.
Michal, the client is needs you to urgently go to Prague to solve his problems. You need to be there today. Let me quickly approve you the necessary budget. You will use your Visa card and Smart Travel Visa app for all your expenses.
Okay.
So let's just go into the app. Okay, the GUI could be improved. Hi, Eva. Hi, Eva.
How can I help you?
Please approve a budget for Michal to Prague.
For which days?
From today for a week.
In which location he will stay?
Nearby Manes Gallery.
Okay, for 7 days in Prague I recommend setting a limit to 1,000 euros. The average price for one night in Prague is about 100 euros.
Please increase the limit by 10%.
Okay, limit is 1,100 euros. What about other settings?
Can you alert me when 90% of the budget is reached?
Of course.
Great, thanks Eva.
Wow.
So, it is approved. Glad to help.
Michal, everything is approved. You have 1,100 euros. Please check your Smart Travel app for other details.
Wow, that was great. Thank you.
Michal is now buying flowers for his wife. Michal receives a notification. Notification on his phone where he can choose if this expense is private or business. Now, Michal has now solved all his business problems and can return home to the company office where he receives another notification on his phone.
Oh, yes, I see. I remember this transaction. Yes, it was actually, I remember this amount of flowers from my wife. Yes.
Yeah, Michal can see all his expenses from the trip. He's able to see the individual items, the transactions, the merchant info, and the flowers are listed as private.
Yeah, let's approve it.
Michal notices the warning that the flowers are being charged as a private expense and will be deducted from his salary.
Wow, this was super. Thank you. It was actually automatically generated, right?
Yeah. Michal's manager receives a notification.
Ooh, a nice notification for free
that Michal's expense report is submitted.
Yeah. That was our first track about travel expense for SMEs. Those of you who are interested in more SME cases, don't worry, in the second part we will have a second track also around SMEs.
Actually, let's point out, these were the bravest because they were the first, but we will continue.
Actually, the most popular track we have seen here. And Martin and myself, we were chatting before. I was telling him the previous Bankathon so many times we had teams who wanted to work around this challenge, but we never really had it. So we are glad now to finally offer a track around this topic.
It is so active by teams that we will see 11 teams in a row and just one winner in the end. So it is the overcrowded category. Just think whether children thinks that money just comes out of the ATM or not. My daughter thought that several years ago still. So actually, we will welcome teams from the Czech, Slovak, Germany, Poland, Russia, Hungary, and Netherlands.
And the first one is Bank Schmello. The stage is yours.
Give them applause.
Good afternoon. Still afternoon, I guess. So, children are awesome, but honestly, they can be irritating sometimes. Like, mess at house, keep going for money all time, no A grades in school, just money, my daddy. So let me introduce you Matti, our 8-year-old who loves cars, games and React, and his daddy, Java master. Matti wants a new toy because he broke the last one. How surprising. But how can the kid earn money in a real world? Here comes our Bank Schmello app. App has two parts, the blue one for parent and the prettier rainbow one for a kid. There is a dashboard with tasks, active, completed or after deadlines. And above them there is current account balances. The app is connected to real bank accounts, no sandbox. The balances you see here are real. so that he can check the list tasks or he can create a new one. Matti can pick the task from a dashboard, but before he does it, he can check his achievement levels page. As he fulfills more tasks in one category, the price is more and more appealing. So the task is finished and Matti sends it for a review. Parent gets the notification. Notifications are currently done using Google Mail API, but push notifications are easy to add. So Matti now earned, or wait, did he reviews the task and set the task as done. You can see the transfer of money from one account to another one. Transactions are instant using Visa API sandbox so far, but PSD2 is feasible as well. So Matti earned some money now, but wait, Matti, don't buy the piggy from the store yet. Save the money for the future. That's why we have the savings part. The crazy favorable savings account with 200% rate per year is implementing using parents' money. This should motivate the kids more to save and invest their money for a future. But what about the real stuff, like real life cost, the bills, like, the data for the Pokemon Go game must be paid somehow. That's why we have the spendings page. We invented this app with these possible business models in mind. It can be a house app for a bank or e-shop. It can be a standalone app sold for money. We can charge small percentage from allowance transaction, or it can be just used for advertising or e-shop lead. Thank you for attention and have a nice rest of this evening.
Hello. So before we start, I would like to ask you, how many of you have kids? Thank you. And how many of you give them money regularly every week or something like this? Okay, thank you. So my name is Siri, I'm from the Etnetera team, and I have a son. That's him. I'm sending him every week 300 Czech crowns, and it's completely boring. So we develop application to change it and to improve his money management skills. This is Kids Banking, acronym KB, and what it does. My son can see how much money he has on his bank account, and on the other hand, he sees how much money he needs for buying this fancy robot. He can see how much money he gets on the next payday, on the next Sunday, and you can see it's some fixed amount and some variable amount. I led him to track his habits in the application Habitica. Brush your teeth, read your book, please do it, my son. And there's some habit score which is changing. And we download this score and transform it into variable part of the money. It should change. Oh, it's 57 now. Congratulations, and the payment is waiting for the next Sunday. Next part is investment. He can every time decide to invest 100 Czech crowns, return it to the parent's bank account, and when he does, the money are really moved. We are using the Trust Bank MPI, and the money are really moving between one sandbox account to the second sandbox account, and the balances are getting as well using the API. You can see on this awful screen behind me. Okay, back to the application. I can maybe slow down. So, next part of this application is to show him how the money are working for him. So he can see the graph. The application calculates how much money he have sent back to the parent's account, and because I'm simulating a great financial product with 10% every month, so he will be really motivated to not spend all money immediately. Okay? Next function is to simulate some danger situation which can happen. One of them is phishing attack. We will send him, or the application send him, a phishing email or WhatsApp message or whatever else, and I'm waiting if he will click on this dangerous link. Oh, is he stupid enough to enter his sensitive information on the internet? Yes. Yes, so he's in panic. What happened? So he's returning back, and what happened? Yes, his money has been stolen by evil hacker not from Russia, with all respect to Russian hackers. And of course, his robot is slowly disappearing. Of course, the money has been again only transferred to my bank account, and he can come and we will discuss some more responsible behavior in the future. Another risk situation is betting. He can try to win some money back. Oh, no. Maybe it will teach him that betting is not the right way how to earn money, and again, he will lose some money and the robot will disappear even more. Monetization of this application is very straightforward. We know everything about the kid. We can offer a highly targeted place for ads from Amazon, Sparkis, or whatever else. Thank you very much. Thank you for this great event, and I'm very tired after coding.
Okay, hello everyone. We are the Wizards of Money and Magic, or half of them, and we would like to present to you our simple RPG game for children of the age of 8 to 12. It's called Swipe Horius the Wizard. Yeah, let's take a look. So as you can see in the top right corner, there's your money. So the overall goal is to maximize your money. You do this by decision making, and the decisions that you take, they have an impact on 3 other resources that you have: energy, knowledge, and patience. Yeah, and you can check out the choices that you do by swiping a little bit to the left and the right, and you can see what resources might be affected. So yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, the first situation is a high-risk situation because we find a recipe that tells us that we can try to change our clothes into a golden dragon egg, and that sounds really tempting, so we give it a try.
Yeah, let's try it. Sorry.
And we fail. So we burn our robe, the class laughs at us, and we need to buy a new one. So we learn that high reward always means high risk. The next situation is we are having lunch, and outside we see a sad-looking, hungry dragon, and we can buy him some food, or we can keep the money, but we are a friendly person, so yeah, we buy him some food.
And this learns us charity, yeah?
Yeah, that's charity.
Let's move further.
The next situation is...
we're facing really no person who
to
borrow from us some stuff that
yeah,
is
so
missing.
There's a stranger. He wants to rent out our property, but we don't know him, so we want some kind of security deposit as an insurance, because we learned from the high-risk business earlier the day. Yeah, so we ask for insurance, and it pays off because the strange person breaks our property, but we have the deposit, so we can buy a new one, so there's no financial damage.
Let's move to the challenge of the day.
The big finale the school bully ambushes us. He's really close. We can only fight or run. Two not so good decisions, so we try to stand our ground and fight him. But suddenly the dragon appears, and because we were so friendly, the dragon handles the bully, and we are safe. So at the end of the day, we are home, and we reflect on our decisions of the day, and we write them down in our journal so we can look them up and look what we learned on that day.
Yeah, those are the aspects of the financing actually pointed out. Yeah,
yeah, that's true. That's finance education.
So
and for the parents, educators, teachers, psychologists, we have some kind of analytic dashboard that keeps track of the behavior of the child, whether it learns, whether it does a mistake or something. And yeah, this is like a behavioral finance profile that you can make of a kid.
What about the business model?
Yeah, the business. So you can use this for banks. They can acquire new customers. They can take care of their existing customers.
In the worst case, we can do the microtransactions.
Yeah, we can do the microtransactions as well. But we can also give it, for example, to educational institutions or customer protection agencies. And about the scalability, the game comes with an editor, so you can basically white label it. You can create new situations, new decisions. You can put it into a different setting that, for example, for a kid that is a little bit older, maybe it's not a wizard, but it's like a manager, a king, or an entrepreneur, and it's faced with more complex decisions.
Yeah, so see you in the shops.
Hello. Before I start, I want to ask you a question. What got sex and money in common? Right. There's never the best moment to talk about kids about these topics. So, what did we do? We took this information and created a new simulation of the world. We call it Far Away from Home. What did we do in this? We are facing real-life situations which are worked out with a psychological person to analyze the behavior of it. But I have to say, we lack of a front-end designer, so it is now a text adventure. So please don't focus on the text, focus on me. So what can we say? Monty, could you please start the engine? Thank you. You see, don't look at this, look at me. We got the possibility to make a companion which could help us. We've got the possibility to take no companion. This is a possibility to make decisions. But now you think it's a game, but it's not a game, it's a tool. We took the cake, we said we want to use machine learning, we want to use AI to help psychologists to identifying new patterns. Patterns what do you not know you have. Because kids are fantastic mimics. Your child learns from you everything. It sees you in eyes you can't imagine. It takes everything from you, even things you don't want to. And even you don't know that you don't want. So to get the test, how we get data from this tool, Monji, could you please choose a sidekick? He chose his mom. And now the situation I get in the nutshell, this is the possibility that one of your classmates offers you drugs. how you handle the situation. Monji, it was the long 2 days. I want drugs. Give me drugs. Give me the drugs. Give me the 2. Press just 2. Thank you very much. Yeah, what we've got in this game, we got 3 mechanics. We got the mechanic moral, money, and luck. And because I took drugs in this early stage of my life, I'm a drug addict, I can't take more credits, took more credit than payoff to satisfy my drug addiction. It's game over for me, literally. What do we want to teach people? People got addictions. People don't know how to spend their money. They lost the track of money. And how these people should or could teach their child how to spend money, the value of money. So, 2 things. We collect the data and use them to identify patterns. And now ask yourself, you have 3 parents here. What does it take that you think about your choices, about luck choices, about moral choices, about money, that you go to your child and say, I want to talk to you about my behavior and your life. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. At the age of 12, did you know how your life will play out? Kids in the age between 10 and 14 years tend to be navigated towards the question, what I'm going to do, what I want to be. We sometimes forget about other important questions which are underestimated. Once I have a job, can I get a house? Should I save my money, invest them regularly, or just spend them freely? Or when I'm planning a kid, how much costs are associated on annual basis? We believe that our simulation game, which is associating the real-time events and financial products played by the kids at the right age, can equip them for the rest of their life. Let us introduce to you the Fine Life.
Hello. Here you can see the environment of our mobile turn-based game. At the top there is a progress bar represented by age. 1 year is 1 turn, and you play from 15 to 65. Below that there are our 2 main metrics, accumulated happiness and monetary balance. The final score is computed from these 2, so you have to find some balance between these 2. Also, if your balance becomes negative, it is instant game over. Below that, there is a list of assets you own, such as house, education, or your girlfriend. And some of those assets bring you additional yearly happiness. Income, expenditures, they are self-explanatory, and entertainment represents a short-term way to convert money to happiness. Now let's take the next turn. At the start of each turn there are some dynamic events. Some of them are just for fun, like this one, but watch out, some of them will be very important. Now let's take a look at the buy button. It is for buying financial products or bigger stuff like car. So let's try buying insurance. Now next turn. Another fun event, and this time take a look at the decide button, which is for big life decisions. So let's say we want to save some money, so we will break up, which will make us less happy, but save some money. Now, next turn. Now this is an important event. Prices of real estate is going down, so let's capitalize on that, take a mortgage and buy our own house. You can see that house was added to our assets and repayments to our expenditures. So next turn. Another big event, we had an accident and now we are unable to work, but thankfully insurance kicked in and we will be compensated. So this was our live demo and I will give word to my colleague Franta.
Hello, I hope you liked our beta version. Of course, we have additional ideas to make the game more realistic. We want to include real data from banks, from their APIs, to make kids choose, for example, the best product. We also want to include Finpedia, Wikipedia of all the financial products to teach the kids the basics, and so on. Thanks for your attention. Have a nice evening.
Hello everyone, my name is Roman. I am a father of 2 kids. My elder son somewhere here, Tim. This is Vitaly. He's the father of JavaScript and AppUp API. Bankers, I want to ask you, what is more important, customer acquisition or customer retention? Difficult question. I think both. Big and small banks are constantly searching for new customers. They want to keep existing one. At the same time, there is a worldwide problem for parents who giving pocket money in cash to their kids. They want to get control of kids' spending. They want to teach their kids about money. They want to teach how to save money for the future and actually how to make money. I think we have a solution to solve all these issues. During this Bankathon, we try to research Visa API. Thanks for Visa. And this is data about transaction on cards and card balance, which we try to use in our app. Let's take a look. How does it work? This is AppUp. It's a white label solution for kids finance education. Bank issues a card. It could be the first card in kids' life. And AppUp provides with 2 mobile apps, one for parent, another for kid. With my app, I can instantly top up kids' card. We use Visa Direct protocol as a P2P for P2P payment. Also, I can check transaction history, and it crafted like Facebook page. Big pictures, comments. Good news, I can link several kids' cards in my parent account. I can control spending of all the family. At the same time, this is the way how we teach children about savings. So this is the way how my son saved money for new Sony PlayStation. And my favorite feature is financial task. When I want to ask my son to do something, I just simply take a picture, let's say to clean kitchen, set amount of money, and send him this proposal. So he complete this task, and I reward him with 10 euro. That's it. To make this process fun and interesting, we try to implement gamification, and we do these achievements. Thank you, Vitaly. So, up, this is a white label mobile banking solution for banks who want to get kids, parents, and eventually all the family as a new customers. Bankers, don't miss innovation. Try to use up in your bank. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Oliver's mom, and this is my mom friend, Margarita. Hi Margarita, can you imagine my son Oliver wants this super expensive toy for his birthday again. It's crazy. These kids really have no idea about value of things or money. But I have found this great new app lately, which yes, this app helps Oliver manage his spending, his savings goals, and it helps him earn his wishes by completing challenges and e-learnings. And it's done in a really interactive and entertaining way. Oliver really likes it. And it only costs 99 Czech crowns per month. That's like 1 cup of coffee, right? The financial education of my kids is certainly worth it. And all the other moms agree with me.
I know, right? I really like this app. I use it for my Johnny as well. That way I can track how much money he's spending on things. See, this is what I'm talking about. He spends way too much money at fast food restaurants. He went to McDonald's 3 times this week already. I really need to give him a challenge to eat more proper food at home. And that way he can save up some money for the new phone he was always talking about.
Hi, I'm Johnny, 11 years old.
I'm Oliver, I'm 10.
Hey, Oliver, have you seen that brand new Lego dinosaur? It's amazing, and you can even rebuild it into T-Rex or airplane. I checked them all, and it's only 320 Czech crowns. But I have only 200, so I asked my mom to give me the rest of the money. But you know, she told me, no, come with the proposal how you earn that money. So, okay, I proposed her to clean up my room every day, but she said, this you have to do for free, you know, even without asking. Okay, so I proposed her to walk our dog for 50 crowns. She told me, okay, this is a good idea, but hey guy, this is only 15 minutes, so it's only 30 Czech crowns, but still good deal. And then she came with really cool idea. If I swim 150 meters, she gives me 50 Czech crowns. That's really a challenge. So at the end, really good deal.
Wow, that's pretty cool, but actually, I prefer to make money on a more regular basis. So check this out. My aunt, she just posted this one. If I collect 1 bag of trash, she gives me 50 crowns. Also, my dad told me if I start going to dog shelter to walk dogs, he's gonna give me 100. But you know, do you remember when we wanted to go watch the new Spider-Man? So actually, if I collect enough B points, my parents are gonna take me there. But you know, maybe I'll spend it on a zoo trip, or actually, if I exchange it for the real money, then I can just buy something for it. But I have to ask my mom to change the exchange rate, because right now she's giving me 1 crown for 100 B points. So yeah. Anyway, what games do you play in this app? I used to play this one, it's a good one. You know, you're supposed to guess which item is more expensive, and it has other levels too, but I think it's too easy for me now. So except the learning language app, I really like the Green Street. You can invest money there, borrow something from a bank. You can even back it up with a loan.
So hello everyone, I'd like to welcome all of you here. We are Team Family Finances, and right now we'd like to give you a sneak peek into what we've been building during the past 30 hours with our amazing designer Daniel, and also with our great hacker David. I'm Ivan, I'm just a hustler in our team. So let's get to it. We've built a mobile-first edutainment and youth banking solution for children in the age group of 12 to 16 from scratch, and we truly believe that we'll be able to increase their financial consciousness and literacy by building on the learning by doing principle. So first and foremost, let's have a look at the dashboard of Jennifer. Unfortunately, the parents of Jennifer are divorced, which actually makes allowance management even more difficult. But due to the fact that we've been integrating Trust's APIs, actually we authenticate, send them request money, and also we are able to do everything via this unified API. There's no problem to actually just depend on any of the banks. So first and foremost, let's have a look at one of the most elemental features of Rocket Money. Let's request money from our family. We can request money from our dad, our mom. Let's choose mom. And then we can also directly request money to a savings goal. We can have individual, social and family-based savings goals. Social goals, for example, with our classmates or teachers. And also family goals, for example, vacation in Croatia. So let's choose vacation in Croatia and let's request 5,000 Czech crowns. So here you can see that the request has been sent. So right now we have to check the parent side of our application. So we will see Jennifer's mom's notifications, and right here there's a request. We can see Jennifer's request. We can go through that particular request and we can accept that request right away. Let's accept it. And actually, once we get back to the child version of Rocket Money, we will see that the balance has been changed and we are able to actually use that particular amount. Moving forward, we can have a look at another key feature, which is a savings feature. We've been talking about savings goals, and right here we can browse around all sorts of savings goals, like family savings goals, social savings goal, individual savings goals. And right now, Jennifer is particularly excited about one savings goal, which is the PlayStation savings goal. Let's have a deeper look at that. Here we can see how long we've been saving for that particular goal, when the completion is actually kickstart, and also we can see the frequency of our savings. Right here we can also ad hoc boost our goal, but right here we'd like to have a look at the visualization of our EduMap, which is one of the secret sources of our application. So right here, with motivational quotes and great visualization, we are able to see when we are going to complete this particular savings goal. And last but not least, let's get to our newsfeed function, where we've been channeling into dynamic content, videos and articles. And we are also able to help children not only manage money and save money, but also make money in a smart way with job postings that are in an Instagram style. We can have a look at the dog walker job posting. right away, we can also see the most important features of that. So yes, we've built a mobile-first edutainment solution, rocket money, pocket money with rocket speed. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. And we will start, but we have video, but it's a little scratchy, so sorry for some video problems, but hopefully it will go. Imagine Angie. Angie is 6-year-old girl. It's a kid going to school, and she's basically living in cashless society or growing up into the cashless society. And how do you teach kids about money or concept of money in a cashless society if they can't touch the money or if they can't see it? So basically, with this problem, we thought about how to make it better, and we basically devised a cashless piggy box, which is traditional piggy box, where children in years before store their coins, but we made it wireless, we made it cashless, and it's here. It's called DigiPiggy. So is it here? And it's basically it's cashless, digitally printed device, and it's IoT, which is connected to via API and our banking API aggregation platform to both mother's banking account and also children's banking account. And the child Angie can interact with it. So hi, Pig. Okay, this is the basic sound, and the Angie can see how much she have money in the piggy box. And basically, what it does, mother has a mobile phone app which is used by her to send pocket money to her daughter. So we can now send money. Okay, 10 crowns. Yes, money are in, so not so super fast, but it was fast. Also, we have some settings in this app that Angie can change the voice of the pig, and she also can, with her mother, have a saving target, and also have a photo of her favorite toy, so she can imagine what she's saving for. And when Angie is like paying with her card, mother will also receive notification in her app, and the pig will do also some sound. So let's do some payment now. set pick with not so much money in it anymore. So that's basically it. That's our wireless piggy box with IoT for kids to like communicate with their parents, to speak about money, the concept of money, so they can like imagine it in a cashless society. They can play with it. It's fun. It's a funny way to do this education, and we hope that children will have a lot of fun with their parents while playing with it. So thank you very much.
Hi for all. I wanted to introduce you our application, and I wanted to show you what we're going to be. Take a sec. Here it is. More, please. So, I want to introduce you our application, and imagine that you are kids. You want to explore the real world, you want to understand these adult things, and you have no idea how it all works. And so, I want to show you an application that will be great for children, and it will adapt children for a good, big adult world and learning them financial education. First of all, let's take a look. We want to take a profession. I always had a dream to be a gardener, and so let's take a look. I'm a gardener, and here you can see my job Here is my bank account. Here is my job salary. I get $12 per week. Sounds great. And what I can do with this money? I can spend them, of course. This is the market, which introduce you the property, the stock trading, the deposit. And for example, you can try to understand what your child will choose. He will choose the property that sounds good, but this is too expensive and this have no profitability. And for example, we can choose a deposit, and congratulations, I get nearly 1%. You can take a look. That's here, looking great. And let's take a look about other features. I can buy a bicycle. Sounds just like a feature, but you know, I'm a gardener and I need to deliver, and this bike will boost my delivery, and my salary will grow, and that's cool. Let's try to buy it. Great. And what about stock trading? This is our in-app purchase feature. I get to have only premium account to use it, and I can stock trading and so on. Looking good. Let's take a look. Now I get a bicycle, and what children do better than adults? They can communicate with each other, and our application allows it. Let's take a look. I get a bicycle, and it looks not so good. But it gave income improvement and some expense, but I wanted to boost it. And what I can do with this? I can go here, and I can try to find an engineer which will boost my bike. Sounds good. Let's try to find it. I see an Alex, and I say, Alex, hi.
Hi, Victor.
Hi, Alex. Please, can you take a look of my bike? I wanted to boost it, and I wanted to sell more, and I want my delivery will be faster.
Okay. Let's look at this.
Let's take a look.
Oh, nice bike, but I think I can make it better.
Thank you. That is a wooden, but
now,
that's so cool. Now I got a cool mountain bike. That is cool. Applause for Alex. He is really cool engineer, and that is good. So let's take a look. Now I got my improved fast bike. I got a deposit. I got a job. And everything is okay, and that is a virtual world which is adapted for children. And you know, there are so many things I can tell about this application and what it can do better and more. But I wanted to remember you three main things. That is social adaptation of children. That is about communications between children. And that is about financial education and in-app features like stock and so on. And this app allows the children understand all depths of financials where communications are important. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Steve and this is Arjun. Arjun works for a couple years in the fintech industry and I work in banking where I did research in low-income families and education families. So in this digital cashless world, it is really hard for children to understand what money means. And money is about now in the future, which makes it even harder to make smart goals for the long-term goal. Especially in families. It's very hard to talk about money. It's a hard and difficult topic. We see that parents don't talk that much about money, but also the parents and the children. We from Family Pay want to bring the finance into the family table while keeping it easy and funny. So this is Martin's game. Martin has like 1,000 monies and he has like already 300 points. And Mitzi gives like the way how your family is spending, how you are doing and how you're working as a family. So if we go to the first category, like the goals, you can see you have like your personal goals, your family goals and your farm goals. I will explain the farm goals a little bit later. So you can see like all the goals that you have as a family and you want to bring this to the next level. So really important is like the university. What we see like in many families is that they don't save money for when they go to university. And it's really important to explain to the children that you have to save money for the future so you can invest. So the saving, very important for them. Because a kid has to understand that you can make money in this world. But you have to do something for that. So also with this, as a family, you can make like personal goals, what children can do together. And from there, you get like points and money. So you have like a very good thing. He did the first assignment. And from here, very important for that. What we want to do is not only to learn about money, but also how do you want to spend money? For example, we do like little questions. If you don't have much money, what kind of phone is better to buy? A brand new one or like a second hand? From there we will learn children how they can spend their money. If we go back, because all the money that you save, but all the points that you have as a family, you can invest it in your own family farm. And with this farm, you can go to the shop and you can buy with the money that you have saved, but also the points that you have collected. You can buy like a pig, but you can also buy ground. So this is like your personal thing. So as a family, you have like different points, but also the chicken makes like new chicken and eggs, so you can get like new points. But if something is in danger, you have to make some new things. For example, when it's like a very big hurricane, you have like two things, sell them or build a stall. And from there we will educate them. So from here, we have like a family goal. You can explain about how this is working, which is very important in an education way. So here you have like the whole farm, like your mother, your dad, and the son and the daughter. But now, very important is that you want to talk about finance when you go to eat. So what we did is we implement Alexa for the KB API, and from there you can ask some questions about how it's going with your finance.
Hey Alexa, open Family Pay.
Hello, I'm your family's accounting assistant. Ask me about your family goals or transfer some money.
What is the progress on our family goal, holiday to Norway?
So far.
Welcome back to the second part of our final pitches.
We have still 4 tracks ahead of us. 14 teams from 6 countries.
Of course, the teams knew this already, but maybe for an audience, a quick reminder. The jury is a tough decision after the next 14 pitches to decide who's going to be the winner of each track, but also who's going to be the overall winner. And these are the criteria. 1 quarter each for the wow factor, for the business potential, for the fit with the challenge, and also with the feasibility.
So, just reminding, I would like to not be in the skin of jury members.
And as mentioned before, when we are seeing the visa track around travel expense for SMEs, SME is kind of a hot topic. That's we see here the KB also focusing on SMEs.
You know, we have commercial clients and especially entrepreneurs under our skin. They are just coded in our DNA as we are Komerční banka. So I hope you will enjoy that, and we are looking forward for nice hacks.
So the stage is now theirs for more assistance as the first pitch of the SME track.
Hello everybody, my name is Radek Teichmann and I'm from company Mora Systems as my colleagues. So let's at first define the problem. We as small businesses or small and medium businesses usually cares about cash flow. So all companies like us are searching for some solution which helps them to solve this issue and let's say have some single opportunity or single dashboard to look around and see how their finances are going. And of course, if there are any solutions to help them to solve them issues with their cash flow. So this is the main reason why we develop something which we call cash flow dashboard. And here it is. The cash flow dashboard solves the main issue for these small businesses. So you have the single overview about your business. So when you wake up in the morning, you can check how the business comes and how it goes. On the left corner, you can see the total balances of your accounts. And I have to point out that it's not only a single account, but it's connected to all your accounts via REST API. So you can see on one point all your accounts and check if you have enough money. The second interesting part is the cash flow status. So now you can see that I have negative cash flow and I should take care about it. So my dashboard says that with invoices overdue, my 30 days cash flow will be still negative. So now let's check what our tool can help with us. If we refresh the dashboard, now you can see that from API, we get some bank products which we can offer to the final customer, or let's say the owner of the small business medium company. And of course, he can take actions, for example, take a loan or let's say send some email to somebody from bank who can take offer for him. So now let's go this. And of course, we have also other interesting numbers here. For example, we have yesterday incoming transfers, we have yesterday outgoing transfers, invoices overdue, and payments due. All these numbers are, let's say, get real time from my information. So we collect real time information from bank systems via PSD2 APIs. We use also Komerční banka APIs for exchange rates to, let's say, change currencies within my foreign accounts. And of course, we also use all other company banking systems like Excel sheets or maybe some invoicing system, because of course I have some forecast and I want to see all my cash flow situation. This is slightly visible on the bottom page, so now you can see some small graph how the cash flow works in our company. Of course, excuse the first part of the year because as we have only sandbox possibilities, we are not able to use these numbers correctly because they are empty. And maybe now we can look to the future, because we have Amazon Alexa here with me. So now let's look how the future of this dashboard should look like.
Alexa, open cash flow dashboard.
Welcome to Cash Flow Business Dashboard. What can I do for you?
What's up?
Here it is. With invoices overdue, your 30 days cash flow will be still negative. Check your expenses. Also, I see that there are 3 payments.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello, we are team Lehko Digital. Lehko means easy, and we are doing processes for small businesses, easy and digital. And it's not necessary to just talk about it, you can test it. We are live, and you don't see the address here. Yes, now you see the address. So on my right, you can see the process from user's perspective. You can pay us something. On my left hand, you can see the process from small business perspective and onboard and get paid for something. Let's switch. And here the problem is that if you make, for example, a weekend project, like everyone here made some weekend project, like everyone did right now, and the big problem is you can't really get paid for it because the cost of ownership payments is huge. There are three issues. First is the invoicing, because if you are in Czech Republic and you are invoicing worldwide, it's different what rate in Czech Republic, different what rate in European Union, different what rate somewhere else. There's problem with payments because you can't really get paid in a cheap way here in Czech Republic from all over the world. And the third problem is the customer support. You can't just spend lots of time on emails or talking with your customers. So we solved these issues with three APIs, the invoicing. Maybe we can switch. Yeah, and allow me to give you a quick example. That I'm a developer and I made a weekend project because I wanted to see what licenses are in my NPM tree that I'm installing in dependencies and dependencies and dependencies. So I made a checker and it's beautiful. And I want to sell it to other developers, but it's not really possible. So I use the Lehko Digital. And let's see what happens that if the user gets email and the country. And here you can use the software. And here the user receives email at that point. Let's look at the email with invoice that is generated depending where I am and where he is, the correct what and everything. All of the processes are there. That's the first link. And the second link is the payment link that the user can directly pay us. For example, if I have multiple accounts in Czech Republic, in euros somewhere, and in pounds in Britain, let's go next here. I can get paid anywhere just using open banking, which is super cheap. It's much cheaper than getting paid, for example, by Stripe, and it's local for the customer too. So we used lots of APIs, and we created one single API that gets concentrated in a single payment endpoint. It's complete black box for the user and for our customer too, for a small business, and does everything for them. And we used, from Komerční banka, we used the FX rate. For example, if you paid the £1 there, you got invoice with Komerční banka rate. We used Factoroid for actually generating the invoices. We used Starling Bank for Live API and FinLeap Connect for Sandbox. For the FinLeap Connect, it would be much better with their shield because I really don't want to get licensed for this kind of business. I want someone to shield me and manage the license for me and the whole process. We use Banked for Live payment, which you can try. And the best thing, we promise to actually solve the support. So for the email that you get, if the user is angry and answer angrily, we use the IBM Sentiment API. And if it's negative, we just apologize, turn on the invoice, and return the payment. And if it's positive, we say thank you.
Good evening. On average, small and medium businesses spend hundreds of hours on processing invoices. They spend time on approving them, filling them, and paying them. What if we could change that? And this problem is not only for our employees, it's also for CEOs. This is Adele, our CEO, and she has to also deal with invoices because she has to approve all the payments that goes from the invoices. And she has to go to the net banking and do that without the context about the invoices. She just sees the payments there, and that can be really risky. What if we could mitigate this risk? And what if we could return the lost time to small and medium enterprises? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you Amy. Amy is an AI-driven financial manager for small and medium enterprises. She can do many things, but most importantly, she can deal with the invoices. And we will focus for this on this use case. This is Bob, our employee, and you can see his mobile phone on the left. And he wants to get the invoice for this Bankathon paid. So he just sends it to Amy. It gets uploaded, and we use Rozum AI to automatically process it, extract the data, and display it to Bob. And Bob can decide if everything's right. He can ask Adele, our CEO, to approve it. So now on the right, that's Slack of our CEO, and you can see the headquarters channel where she can discuss the expense with other higher-ups and decide whether this is something that she wants to approve or not. And we are really omni-channel. We work where you do. So we can start the interaction in Slack, but then continue, for example, with the voice.
Hey, Alexa, open Financial Manager.
This is Amy. There is one invoice pending for DX Heroes Limited with amount 64,000 euros.
What's my account balance?
Your company account balance in Komerční banka is 450,000 euros.
Approve transaction using Slack.
You will receive an authorization code on your mobile device. Continue by sending it to me on Slack.
So now you can see the authorization SMS came, and our CEO can complete the transaction within Slack. She could do it by the voice, but we wanted to demonstrate that we are really omnichannel. So now the Amy is taking care of the transaction, and it got authorized. And Bob can see on his mobile phone that the payment was made. And that's not all. If our CEO needs to go in a hurry and wants to make sure that the payment really went out, she can do this as well.
Hey Siri, check my account balance with Amy.
So here you go, and you can see that the balance was lowered by the invoice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Amy. She's priced at $100 per month per company, and we cannot wait until you try it. Thank you.
And ahead of us is wealth management track powered by Deloitte, and it will be with three teams from Czech and Slovakia.
And yeah, Martin and myself were just joking. Maybe we see here the solution the Bankathon winner can use to put their money in. So let's see what the teams have in place for us.
Yeah, so if I would be the winner, maybe I will find a solution here.
I don't know if I can talk. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Daniel. My background is in accounting. My colleague Stefan, and his background is in marketing. Our solution gathers the bank's account and the broker's account into one place. And at the bottom, you can see there is scoring based on the return on assets, which is an accounting term. Visually, is not as cool as the previous presentations, but believe me, a lot of work happens in the background. So, believing with the banks panel, I use the Trask API to gather in one place all the banking accounts. And you can see the name of the account and the amount. If you move a bit to the bottom, yeah, you can see the ROA. What I did here, I did a crawler to catch all of the accounting information from the SAP 500 based on the annual reports that they deliver for the Securities and Exchange Commission. So here you see the 3 best companies that have best ROA in the industrials category. If you really like, from this interface, you can actually click on buy, and you're going to get 100 shares, in this case of GE. The other, moving up, it's the IBKR, which stands for Interactive Brokers, which is one of the biggest, oh, it bought. Okay, so it's one of the biggest stock brokers in the world. Here, what I did, I connected to the IBKR interface, and I extracted the total cash balance, the stock market value, and the accrued cash. So please have a look on the stock market value and remember that number. And my colleague's going to buy GE again. This is a demo account, don't worry.
Autofilled.
OK, so you see we bought 100 of GE at 898. If we refresh, that number is going to get refreshed. Did we refresh? Yeah, as you can see. Now, if you look up the Hello World thing, the technologies that I used for that is the Docker, Flask, MongoDB, React, and Bootstrap. So this is just a simple layout. So why do I believe? Where is the added value here? Is that you, as a wealthy individual, you can, as my colleague said earlier, you wake one morning and you can see what's your financial position. And you can decide whether you can afford to buy that new Porsche Taycan or not. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Peter. This is Tom, and we are from the Money Kitten team. And we believe that smart wealth management solutions should be here for everybody, not just only for rich people. And we started this hackathon, with a little market research. We sent a survey, and we got a stunning 19 responses. And from that survey, we find out that there is a huge opportunity for an app that would help young people to achieve their financial goals and to fulfill their financial dreams. So let's get to the first screen. So now we need a user to connect his bank or her bank. We are using Česká spořitelna APIs here and experimental KB APIs, the PSD2 ones, because we need to read the transaction history. And here the user gets to the screen when we want him to set up his goals. So usually young people have goals like a budget for traveling or maybe a fashion or some gadget. So let's say that she chooses that she wants to save for traveling. Okay, thank you very much. And let's say that she wants to travel to some fancy destination like Brno or maybe Barcelona or something like this. And she sets up budget, maybe 800 euros going to date, and pick the date she wants to travel. And now, here comes the magic. Now we are analyzing her spending habits and transaction history, and then we can provide her with some nice insights about her spending habits, so we know how much she spends a month, how much she saves, and how much she needs to save to achieve her goals. So now, this is a part that we need to get and offer her some actionable points. How can she achieve her goals? So let's say that she's visiting pubs and bars too often. So maybe she can commit to a 10% fee for every bill she pays, which is going to be sent to her saving account. And cigarettes, it's obviously wrong, but maybe we found that she has 2 subscriptions, both Netflix and HBO Go, so she can maybe commit to cancel one of them. And voila, now she's on the path to achieve her financial goal. So she's ready to go now. Now fast forward. Whenever she buys a beer, maybe, we know it immediately, and we can send her a notification about it, that she just saved, or that 18 cents was just sent to her saving account, yay, and that she's on the path to achieving her goal. Okay, so this is the first part of the game, but the end game is that when we taught or helped the young woman to make smart decisions about her savings, now we can teach her how to invest. It's a great opportunity, a huge market opportunity. There's 177 million students on the market or in the world, and we can teach them how to, or onboard them into more sophisticated financial products. So this is the end game. You know, you're young, you're happy, you just learn how to save, but the second step is to set more long-term goals and invest your money and get to smarter financial instruments on the market. So this is it. We are Money Kitten team. Have I forgotten something? What was it? 177 million. I said that. Huge market opportunity. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank all the organizers. It's a great event. And we are the Money Kitten team. Bye. Cheers.
Hi all, my name is Kevin and I am a young and fledgling investor. I have recently sold my company and I've made the buck on it, but I have one critical problem. I have no idea where to spend my funds. The problem is that with $100,000 that I've earned on this deal, I cannot get a private banker because the bank won't take me. And plus, there are so many businesses, startups, industries to choose from. There's healthcare, which I know nothing about. There's brewery, which I know everything about. There are agriculture businesses, florists, what have you. And so I want to freely and in an educated manner manage my wealth and expand it. And now, we, the team of IBM Lions, present a solution to this problem. We call it a Lions Share Platform. This platform utilizes advanced algorithms and AI, which works in the background, and it specifically and in a custom manner presents a set of industries, businesses, and startups which are most valuable and viable for the exact investor who is using the tool. For example, we have the three trending segments that were chosen based on the transaction history, based on the behavior of the investor, and based on different APIs such as FinLeap API and others. And this presents three segments where the investor can invest. Since we're in Czech Republic, let's choose this one. And so now we have three different startups, which are the most trending ones in the area. So this is chosen dynamically based on the industry that was chosen, and the investor can make an educated decision. He can decide to go with a more risky venture, such as the lower one. The index is generated by the AI that is working on the back end, but we have also a lower risk ventures where he can still gain money and manage his wealth. And of course, I said educated decision. So this also lists explanations why this is the best venture for him. It lists exact transactions by which this was based on, and of course, he can make an educated decision and invest. So we have also a gamification system based on the badges that you saw, and so our fledgling investor, Kevin, has moved up the ranks, and this can compare individual investors. They can compete with each other, and he can be a proud owner of the beer badge. So IBM Lions can be used by banks, and they can use it as a premium tier subscription service. So they can charge for it yearly. Everybody's happy. Banks are happy, investors are happy, so they are covered. They can make an educated decision. So with IBM Lions, I, Kevin, I'm managing my wealth freely. I've made an important decision in my life. I'm getting money from it, and the bank is happy, and of course, I have avoided a bad decision. To your wealth.
The track is called New Business Models. I think whether you will take some future or whether it will be some kind of sci-fi. What do you think?
I'm actually also pretty excited about the track because all the other tracks are very tangible and you can kind of expect what you're going to see. I'm very, very excited to see what we see in this track. So the first team is ready already. So I think...
Please welcome the first team on stage.
Why the hell are we all here today? Come on, throw a few ideas at me. What? Fun? Another one? No, we are here to sell. The developer teams sell the result of their work to the jury here. You all are here because you want to get inspired on new and innovative ways how you can sell your products and services to your customers. So we developed an app that actually helps the bank to sell one of their most profitable products, and that's a consumer loan. And it can be very easily embedded into their mobile banking application. Now, I am Roman Knap, regular person, father of a family, and I want to log in to the bank using Bank ID. Very easy, convenient way, hopefully soon available in the Czech Republic as well, right? And now, after I log in, let's say that I have my personal purchase plan and I want to buy a very expensive TV for myself within next month. So I add in the product that app actually downloads the right product variants and prices from price comparison portals. So it connects directly via API. I add that. And what else do I want? I want even more expensive iPhone for my child for Christmas, of course. Needs to be very expensive. So I add that in the right variant as well. And there was something else. Come on. Oh, I remember. Washing machine for my wife. Yeah. And she wants that immediately, of course. So let's add the washing machine as a third product from my wish list. Let's do that. And now, what happens? I get actually insurance offered on one of the products, on the iPhone. Yes, it makes sense to insure the product right away. So let's do that. Wow! We have first revenue stream for the bank. Insurance is sold, okay? Great. Now, actually, the app connects via PSD2 API to my personal finance history, and using artificial intelligence, it provides me with the planned dates where I can actually purchase the products or reach the products in case I want to finance it by my own resources, available resources. iPhone for Christmas in January, that's not good. So let's go to finance it by loan. And wow, we have second revenue stream for the bank. Loan is sold right now. That's great, perfect. After I get the loan, I actually pick up the right variant. I give a consent to process my personal data, and the request form is again pre-filled thanks to the bank ID right away. So actually, like this, I can apply for the loan. I get the money on my banking account right away, and the app actually takes me right away to the appropriate e-shop. Wow, and that's a third and last revenue stream for the bank, the commission from the e-shop, okay?
New business model. What is the income for banks in the future? Well, when we talk about future, we're talking about clients. And when we talk about clients, we ask, where are the clients? Well, the clients are on social media, like Instagram. Let's have a look of what people are posting on Instagram. These are real-world examples of posts on Instagram. They are posting things like what they have, what they are spending money on, what they do. They're spending it with their friends, with their family, with the whole wide world to show that they are happy, that everything is cool, that everything is nice. How can a bank benefit from this kind of new generation? Well, this is where Bankagram kicks in. Our solution, Bankagram, combines the social media world with the banking world, so-called a social banking app. You can see it looks similar to Instagram, but there's a big difference. All these posts are actually account transactions. So you can see the amount of the account, and you can also see the beneficiary of the payment. How do we do that? Let's switch to the transaction overview. On the transaction overview, we use Cheska API to collect all transactions from Erica. Erica has 2 accounts, as you may see, and she picks the Louis Vuitton transaction because she wants to post it. She can take a picture, or she takes a recommended picture from us, types in a message, maybe some hashtags, and decides whether or not she wants to post it as well on Instagram as on Bankagram. So by hitting the share button, it's going to be shared on Bankagram and as well on Instagram. Let's have a look at how it looks like in Instagram. On Instagram, we can see in a couple of seconds that the post is looking exactly the same, but we added a hashtag Bankagram and the hashtag of the account bank where the transaction took place, so Kashka. So, if you want to see what else Erica posted, she goes to her profile. On her profile, she sees what she posted and an overall amount of transactions she have posted on Bankagram. This is kind of the quality of the Bankagram account, like followers on Instagram. She can also see on other people's Bankagram account what they have, what they value on bank account and what funny things they are posting. So this is what we. How can banks benefit from this new generation lifestyle? So, as you may have seen on the timeline, there are recommendations. Like when she bought an Alexa, she can straight away go to the Alexa skill to install it on the Alexa. When she posted that she paid rent, we gave her a recommendation of, hey, talk to your bank. Maybe you can buy a house or a flat. So this is a big cross-selling potential for you as a bank. And there's one more thing. Bankagram comes with a white labeling solution, so you can integrate it into your bank's application. This is an example how it could look like in George. So this opens up a new world for your banking application, moves it to a social bank application, and gives added value to your customers. They can now share their emotions with using your bank. In addition to that, you can decide in your bank's application what kind of recommendation you give to the customer. So based on your bank's strategy, this might be completely individualized as you want to have it. So think big. This is the new generation. They want to share their emotion. Let them show that they spend money on things they are happy for, they are enjoying them. Do not be a bank of today, be a Bankagram.
Hello, my name is Peter. I'm from the team New Kids on the Blockchain. Today, we would like to show you how the blockchain technology can dramatically speed up the mortgage application process. Currently, the real estate financing with a mortgage takes weeks or even months because there are many parties involved and they need to trust each other. That's why they usually pay for attorney services. But that is not needed when you use the blockchain technology. Another pain point is transparency. For example, the seller doesn't know what's the current status of the mortgage application. They usually discriminate buyers who don't have cash. In the following demo, where you see an iOS application, an Android application, and a web application, we will show you how all the involved parties trust each other by saving all the important data in the blockchain.
So, the process starts with a seller who wants to sell his flat in Prague. In order to sell his flat on real estate consortium, he needs to have his flat appraised. Since we don't have here the real estate appraiser, we fast forward to the next screen where we can see the price of the property that is on sale.
And here comes the buyer. I'm now the buyer, and I'm running a mobile app which shows me which properties are on sale nearby. This is actually live production data, so the flats that you see here are actually for sale right now near the location where we are. The buyer likes what he sees, and he wants to buy it, so he joins the real estate consortium to apply for the mortgage. After submitting the necessary details, the bank informs him through the real estate consortium app that the mortgage application was successfully received, his credibility was verified, and tells him what's the next step.
Now the seller is notified that there is a buyer with verified credibility that is looking to buy his flat. All he needs to do is sign a pledge contract that is necessary to make changes in the cadastre.
The cadastre has already joined the real estate consortium, and after receiving all necessary documents, they can rely on blockchain technology that the seller signs the pledged contract. We are using Microsoft Azure blockchain service to build this demo. It can be easily integrated to third parties. After updating property certificate, the bank, the most important in the process, can send the money to the seller.
And this is the end of our demo, where you saw how the mortgage application process was short, and how it saved not only the buyer's time and money. And what's the business model? We believe that the buyer would
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce you Crowden, which is a project that
I'm so sorry, just to make a short interruption. My friend here on the island, she's running a small garden, I'm so sorry. And I would really appreciate if after this presentation you wouldn't mind just chipping in a few crowns. It would really help to keep the garden running. It's just not very big to just run a full crowdfunding campaign. But yeah, I think if you could just chip in a few crowns would be really helpful. Thank you so much.
Well, get through.
Okay, jokes aside. I'm actually part of the team, but what we have done here with CrowdAct is to build an app that we hope will help people to reconnect with the place they live at, and sort of we are focusing on people who have been left behind by big banks and the tech firms, and we are trying to help them to make use of their money. So let's say I'm trying to start a local garden. I'm going to start by making an account, logging in with my bank account ID, just a sample account here. I'm going to confirm it, get an identity, and then I see a chatbot that is basically going to manage this account. This account doesn't belong to a company, doesn't belong to an NGO, but is fixed to a certain place. It's an account for a place. We call it an autonomous account. I start by creating a name. Then I select a template, because there, of course, can be different types of projects that we could go through. But I'm starting garden, so let's use an urban garden template. The goal will be to grow plants, get children engaged, and maybe you will get some local veggies as well. I use my account to validate this project, and I have just created my project, my garden, this place. And then let's see. So let's say David just created this for me. I will put this in my garden. People can use this QR code to open it and start talking to the chatbot that is managing this account for me. And so let's say Martin opens it and wants to pitch in some money to keep it going. So he opens it and he's talking to this chatbot that is managing the account for me in this place. And he donates, let's say, 100 crowns. It's great. I can do something with that. Thank you for doing that. You should do that too. And we got that money. And then me, as the owner of the garden, or the keeper of the garden, gets 100 crowns. Let's use it. What do you want to use it for? Maybe we can grow some plants? Sounds good. Yeah, let's buy some seeds. We do that, and that immediately sends a request to all the people who have donated to validate that request for an expense. They're nice people, so hopefully they will approve. Sounds like a reasonable request. And I immediately get my request that I've received a donation that I can use to grow some plants. So this is CrowdAct. What are the main things here? First of all, we are enabling people to do long-term crowdfunding, not just one time, but get small donations over time to run a project that they care about. Secondly, we have these autonomous accounts that are managed by chatbots. Very accessible interface for most people who are used to send messages or whatsoever. And then thirdly, we have this grassroots, decentralized improvement of public places. So if you're walking through Prague and you see public places in a year from now that are not used to benefit the local people, it's your fault because you haven't invested in this project. Thank you so much.
And here we have last but not least track, which is called Multi-Banking, powered by RBI and Trust Together. So you can see the partnership in practice. Here will be 4 teams coming from 4 countries: Kazakhstan, Czech, Russia, and Ukraine.
And maybe before we start on the track, who has used multi-banking already? Maybe hands up.
Hands up.
So we see the teams have some education to do and show us the benefits of multi-banking.
Actually, it is nearly the only experience of PSD2.
Okay, hello everyone, thank you. So today we want to focus on two trends that are happening in the banking industry. So first of all, banks are trying to become platforms and in the industry of cryptography and decentralized finances. So we believe in the power of new technologies, and we believe that we have to use new technologies in collaboration with the older ones to create the best experience for end users. So just consider this example. Let's say Ali, my friend, has to attend a blockchain conference that's happening in Japan, and he, of course, has to apply for a visa. What he has to do now to confirm that he is able to support himself financially is he has to disclose his banking information to just show exact amount of money on his bank account, his bank statement for the last couple of months, disclosing everything. And of course, he does not want to do that. He wants to keep his information private. And here we are happy to present the idea that we have. We call it Trustless. It is a tool, set of APIs that allows and utilizes new possibilities of open banking and PSD2 to allow to confirm certain information without actually disclosing it. So we are using the so-called zero-knowledge proof. And Ali, can you talk a little bit more about that and show us how does it work?
Zero-knowledge proofs are is the technology which uses some cryptographic algorithms which allows you to prove that you are, to prove the ownership of some data or some sentences without the revealing of the data themselves. For example, it's used in the private blockchain technologies to prove that transactions are valid and blockchain is still secure without revealing the recipient or sender of the cryptocurrency. We use the same technology in here when user logs into our API. We are using Trust API to connect many different banks and bank accounts. We are doing it for you here easily. And then you can pair your device with a cryptographically signed message. The application I'm using right now was already done. We are just utilizing it. And we are pairing our device by signing the message. Now we can review what we are doing and either reject or confirm it. We confirm, so here we have a device ID. Now this is it from the user's point of view. And let's pretend I am an embassy which require a bank statement. But I, as a user, don't want to share with them all my transaction history and the amount on my bank account. That's why I give them the proof that I have at least 60,000 crowns on my bank account. Requester, embassy, generates a request and provides me a QR code, and I can just simply scan it and review what they request from me, and I confirm that I want to reveal just true or false. Yes, I have more or equal that 60,000 crown in my account.
Great, yeah, thank you. So we're not trying to become a startup and raise $1 million. We're just instead providing an API that integrates with PSD2 to allow developers to provide even more third-party extensions to the users, so the users are happy and the banks are happy.
Hello, good evening. My name is Peter Lev and I represent Komerční Banka here with Ksenia. And we would like to show you our app, which we've made yesterday. It's an lightweight app for cashless society using multi-bank API from Trask. And let's imagine that we are all in a zoo and we would like to donate some money for an animal. Just that simple. Well, we can do it in our app in the two ways. You can scan a QR code, as Ksenia shows. And here we go. Here we have a kangaroo, which we can donate. And if we don't like a kangaroo, we can just click for our list of all the species in the zoo. And we can, oh, let's see, there's a live event or donation in our app. I should mention that this app is ready, it's alive. You can see here that there are some donors and donated amount, and if you click the lion, you can see some overview and description. If you want to help him to donate some money, you just click the action button, and there you just set some amount, maybe leave a message for a zoo. And here we go with the multi-banking API. You just choose your bank. Choose one, please, Ksenia. And here you have to log in. This is just a mock-up, so Ksenia will fill it. And then all you have to do is to choose an account, and there you complete your donation. Well, we have to sign the transaction, of course. Well, we wanted to make our app a little bit special. So every donor gets a Prague Zoo original funny gift with a silver medal, and you can easily share it on Facebook or Twitter or something like that. Well, as I mentioned, the app is alive. It's almost a production quality. We spent 24 hours yesterday, so it's a fresh code, and we did it all on a Bankathon. And I think that's all from me. Thank you very much.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Pavel from Česká spořitelna Open Banking team, and I'd like you to imagine that you are a new fintech company that has a brilliant idea on how to use PSD2 APIs or Open Banking APIs in general, but you have no experience in this area. What would you have to do? Well, you would have to go through hell, because at this moment you would have to study all the developer portals. And believe me, the user experience is not, well, let's say it's inconsistent. But even worse, which is even more painful, you would have to study the documentation for every API from every bank you would like to use. And this is the problem that we were trying to solve in this area. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you the first open source multi-banking application in the market. This is some basic login screen from the user perspective right now. What you can see here is a total balance across all your accounts that you have in here. You can see you have multiple banks connected. You can see some fancy graphs in there, which usually shows that you're spending more than you should be. And we have also implemented some general overview of the accounts, the transaction history, and you can even make a payment from this application, which is still not standard for multi-banking applications on the market. And last but not least, you can manage the connected banks that you can see here. Okay, this is not the most important part or the most interesting part. It's this. This is already published GitHub resource where the fintech that I talked in the beginning can take the source code, copy that, learn on that how the open banking world works, and even enhance it with other functionalities and push it in here so others can benefit from this change. The title of this event was Let the Open Banking World Begin. And I strongly believe that this is what will help to fulfill this title. By the way, that something is open source doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be for free, so we will be charging the clients for the support or even eventually for the commercial license. Thank you everyone and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Hello, my name is Igor, this is my teammate Alex, and the issue we are trying to solve today is the problem of laziness. I will explain. Me, at some point of my life, I decided that it won't hurt if I donated some money to a charity organization, and I tried to find some on the internet. I found a lot, and I was too lazy to find some information, like if it's okay or if it's a scam. So that was it. No donation was done, and that's all. We are trying to solve it by our app, which has two types of users. On one side we have foundations, charity organizations, and on the other side we have users who can donate money. So let's see it from the user's point of view. We are a user and we want to choose a foundation, for example, for poor developers. We like those. We see some common information, and also we can see a list of transactions, so we know it's not a scam. So we decide to donate once, for example, but the app asks us to connect the bank account, and I think if the user is paranoid, it's okay, he can pay manually, but the goal is achieved, money are donated. But if the user is okay with that, he can connect his account, and now we can see that he's a new user, so he hasn't donated anything yet. So he goes back to the foundation, for organizations, donate once, enters the amount, confirmation code from the message, And the green light, the green color means it's okay. Let's check the transaction in my account page. Yeah, it's okay, 5,000 it is. For users who decide to connect their bank accounts, we have a small benefit. It's a top developers. For example, our Max user is on the first place now, and he can promote his website, for example, or if anybody wants to promote anything else, like YouTube channel or Instagram account, etc. And another type of using our app is to use it through subscription. It's not done yet, it's coming soon, but the idea is that people subscribe to the foundation and they donate the money every month or every week, for example. And the recommended amount is calculated from their expenses. So if a person spends like 40,000 a month, 40,040, for example, is okay. And more users we have, more donations we can get. That's all about the app. I think about business potential, we don't have any because it's foundation. The app is built on the idea of charity, so we don't have moral right to earn money, but we don't mind donations for ourselves. Thank you.
Here were nearly 100 of competing people in 27 teams from 10 countries and in 6 tracks. And
now it's up to the jury to decide who will take home the 20,000 euros. So now the jury will go in the back and discuss the results of the judging. And I think in around 15 minutes we will be back with the annunciation of winners.
So after a short break, please come back and there will be a awarding ceremony. And we kindly ask the jury to come with us to the saloon.
For the moment we have all waited for so long.
Actually, we are pretty huge. There are 27 teams waiting for results. This is final of finals.
But before that, I think it's one time to give one more round of applause for all the participants that worked here so hard, for all the people involved that made this possible, and also for our partners and sponsors that make it happen. Thank you.
So, it won't be possible without these partners investing their time, energy, and of course, some small amount of money.
That's why we are able to award now in total an amount of 21,000 euros for the teams.
So it means that each track has a winner, which will have 3,000 euros check, and there will be as well as the overall winner of winners getting second one. So please applause to the diamond sponsors, to the partners allowing these.
Quick reminder, those were the rules the jury was just discussing right now or judging the teams are based on.
So just quick reminder, and now?
Now I think it's time to welcome our diamond partners here on stage. Please, all of them, join us here on stage so we can start the award ceremony, and we will start with the Visa track.
Please welcome the jury on stage.
So as a reminder, we had here 2 teams, group travel.
Step forward.
I think there's a mistake, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a mistake. Yeah, I think it was group travel and IBM team, right? Yeah. Anyway, now it's time to award the winner. So.
Okay, so I'm the first one, and the winner is IBM Bears. Maybe, do we have time to say a few words? Yeah. So, thank you very much. I mean, I hope you're going to like the prize, and we are very actually pleased that you did very great job. Thank you.
Thank you very much, all of you. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for everyone who made it possible.
So thank you, and if we may ask you to get together, and we will get a photo. Yo, hold your to this side, please. A little bit, yeah. You are in the center, it's good. And we will be trained for the next track as well. So. So say cheese.
Thank you.
Clap your hands. These were IBM Bears.
The next track was our most crowded track, the track from Financial Education for Kids.
Believe me, I don't want to be the jury member to select the winner. 11 teams. The hardest work today. So,
you see, we had a lot of participants, all good job, 11 of them. So it was a hard selection on this, but we selected finally for Etnetera. We liked especially about the tips you are giving to the kids, especially on spending, but also on saving money on this part. So congratulations again.
So please hold your check, it's yours, and prepare for the photo. Say cheese, please. Thank you, applause. So,
congrats.
Next one. The next track is Open Banking for SMEs powered by KB.
No.
No?
Well,
oh, sorry. We have different order. Okay, sorry. Finals.
So the next one is the track of wealth management.
Wealth management, powered by Deloitte.
3 teams.
In that case, Stepan, you are welcomed.
So, the winner is... Who is the winner?
Who is the winner? This is the winner.
Money Kitten. So, congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys. It was an honor to be here and compete with you.
Thank you, everybody.
Všechny doprava. Say cheese to the photographer, please. Great. Big applause to Money Kitten. And next, we have track multi-banking powered by RBI and Trask. So, if you can make it together as partners.
Okay, and the winner is, and the first place is Team Kabe.
Say cheese to the photographer again, please. All together. Thank you. Big applause to Kabe.
Nice.
Actually, this is next track, New Business Models powered by Česká spořitelna.
Surprise, surprise. The winner is Bankagram.
Thank you. And time for a photo. Okay. Thank you and big applause to Bankagram. And the next track is Open Banking for SMEs powered by KB.
All right, so in this category, the winner is bank lifting.
Big applause.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Big applause to bank lifting.
Now we're seeing the winners of the 6 tracks, and I think now it's time for a special award, right?
So, actually, if we could be so kind, and you can sit down, and we will call you.
Thank you.
Name by name. Thanks to the jury members. So, if we can, we will ask Wolfgang to come back, and here will be issued a little bit. Special prize by IBM.
So, exactly. The special prize for IBM is actually inviting the team. I'm leading the business in Eastern Europe to present in front of my leadership team. And then we may decide about how to support this kind of application on this part. So, the winner is, and not by chance on this side, we have a lot of good presentations. These are the new kids on the blockchain. So, congratulations. Congratulations. So, you are very excited now, still? Yeah, hopefully, okay. So, some picture. So what we have seen of this application, I think this was really amazing already. So let's look what you can do more. All right, thank you very much.
Big applause to the new kids on the blockchain. And now, after the fresh music of New Kids on Blockchain, we would like to invite, on behalf of organizers, on a stage, Mr. Jan Juchelka, tenor, and as well as Mr. Pavel Štěpánek from Czech Banking Association. Applause, please.
All right, so so we are making like for those who are from Czech Republic, we are giving like the award for Karel Gott of this evening, right? Because this is the absolute winner who collected the highest number of votes. So it's my pleasure to, on behalf of all of us, if I may, to give the award to the winner, which is. I know it. At Netera.
Of the 7th annual of Bankathon.
So guys, here's the check. Another one. Congratulations.
Thank you very much to all of you. Thank you for the excellent event. I want to say fishing makes money. This is the proof. Thank you very much. Excellent event.
And the winner of winners is as well as awarded by the special prize by Pavel Štěpánek on behalf of Česká bankovní asociace.
So, gentlemen, congratulations. And we have a very special reward for you, which will make you work again. It's a 2-page space in the Czech journal Bankovnictví, in English banking, and you can use it to introduce your team, the hack, whatever. So it's up to you. You've got 2 pages for a very wide audience and readership in the Czech Republic and Slovakia.
Applause. Thank you.
And after we've taken this picture, we kindly ask all the winners to come on stage to take a big picture with every winner of this Bankathon. So please,
stay. Winners, stay on stage. Stay on stage, please.
No, stay on stage.
We will do the overall photo.
Please, everybody.
So all winners and big applause. Come on stage, please.
Everybody, we're going to check.
Applause again, please. Winners. These are the heroes of this Bankathon's annual, lasting over 30 hours of coding, successfully presenting their story.
And now please join us at the bar, some drinks, snacks, and let's do some networking. Thank you.
If you liked any idea, you can approach Winning or as well as other teams. You can buy it and you can plug it into your digital space and offerings. So don't hesitate to make deals today. Thank you and good night.